Coming to go.
What's the coming to? Ah, you beat me to it.
Beat you to it. Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to
Gnomes and halflings.
Gnomes and Halflings. Only short races.
Yes.
And dwarves. Welcome to episode something.
28.
28.
Actually.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh,
Rabbit. Thank
Rabbit.
you. You the best.
You're just so wonderful.
Flash
man.
them hooters.
We love
Welcome to episode 28 of Legends of Avantris. It's been a long and wild ride, and we really appreciate all you guys, all of our new fans, our old fans, the people from the beginning, Sugar Daddy Misaki, who makes it rain, Rabbit,
Like this.
since the
He's just
beginning.
doing this the whole time.
Yeah.
You're making it sound like this is the last episode.
This is a mature stream.
Avantris.
It could be.
It could be. No, it very well could be. Misaki,
Misaki gets his wish.
he literally, he may get his wish. Who knows?
Yeah.
And so welcome. We are some nerds who embarrass ourselves for your entertainment. This is Legends of Avantris, colloquially known as Avantris Prime. We've had 28 episodes. This campaign is a 5th edition D&D campaign for anyone who may be new and watching. We've been playing this campaign for about 2.5 years as of literally today.
Are you serious?
Literally today.
No way.
Wow,
God.
you can't make this shit up. 2.5 years today on the dot. December 13th, 2015 is the night that we started, as I figured out from Kelsey's tweet.
What a night.
And what a night, ladies and
History in the making, fellas.
history. So it's been,
Thank you,
we've been
Bacon Golem.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Bacon.
A very merry 2.5 birthday to you, to me.
To me? Can you send me my dice back, please?
Oh,
Yes.
send it. I'm gonna send it, guys.
So we've been doing 5th edition. There's a lot of rules written, mostly rules written, but a lot of homebrew, as you'll see in probably a second. A lot of incorporation of 4th edition, as well as other things that I like and I think is cool. And so if there's anything we're doing wrong, let us know though. If there's a concentration spell, D&D Beyond kind of fucks up, and I've written down my notes from D&D Beyond, so hopefully I'm not fucking anything up. And in addition to that, mature stream, so tell the kiddies not to watch us because we get pretty saucy. And we are giving a giveaway at 500 followers, a massive giveaway. You will win a leather dice tray, similar to what Richie is showing here. It will be pinched up in all the corners so you can plop it down, roll in leather. This is leather. If you do not like leather and you win, we can still work something out, figure something out that is not leather. So we're flexible. A dice bag, custom dice bag made by Nikki. By the way, these two items are made by Nikki. She's crafty, a cosplayer. She's really famous.
No, don't say that.
Hashtag cosfamous.
No.
I'm kidding.
Please don't do that.
I'm kidding. And she's a fantastic crafts person. Look at that. You can choose any external, any internal, any patch. And then to roll in that and put in that, we have the dice. Purple, like Legends of Avantris, our colors. You'll win that. That's from Tressex. Nikki's good, but I don't know if she's that good
To make
Tressex dice like that.
Perfectly weighted.
Yeah,
For a week, man.
I can 3D print you some non-weighted or some really shitty dice.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine, like, it fractures at the lines?
Yeah.
You just super glue it every time it breaks. It's fine. And so 500 followers. So tell your friends. And any one of our followers, when we hit the 500 mark, we'll randomly select it. Everyone has a chance to win. With that, we're going to go around and introduce our table. We have Richie playing Rodic Stonehawk, a mountain dwarf fighter.
It's been a long time.
You'll notice that unfortunately Scotes could not make it. He is actually moving. So first Derek's moving, now Scotes is moving. So it's a crazy week for him. So similar to how Derek was MIA, Scotes is MIA tonight.
It's Misaki's dream that we again don't have a cleric.
Don't have a cleric, but
congratulations, Misaki.
Ganji mechanically, I may have to roleplay him a little bit here and there, but Sylvie will be the one actually mechanically controlling him, and it can be crowdsourced thing. And then
I'm so nervous.
He plays Ganji Stormscale, a dragon-born cleric, a Bahamut.
He would be sitting.
Then
here.
we have Nikki playing Sylvie Flickerwicket, a forest gnome warlock.
We can have Hootsie represent him.
And yet Hootsie can represent. There she is. There she is.
This is
And then in the corner here we have Annulin.
We need to cheat to represent.
Kelsey playing Annulin Mossgrove. She is a wood elf ranger. Well, we have the cheat. We have Hootsie. We got everybody.
Yeah.
It's
This is Ganji.
It's Ganji. I mean, he's kind of bronzy.
Yeah.
She is a hunter ranger, in the Wood Elf variety. And then finally, we have Avantris True Strike, played by the one and only Andy. He is the great _Andini. You'll see him in chat. Please follow him on Twitch as well. When we're not streaming on D&D, we're usually hanging out in his channel. He's usually streaming a lot of WoW, maybe some League, maybe some Diablo, Hearthstone. Boo. Who watches Diablo?
It's fine.
Great commentary, awesome stuff. So please,
Thanks, buddy.
please follow him and come hang. With that, do we have anything else? Should I DM the whole thing as Gino?
I swear to God, I will leave this table right now.
And for anybody that didn't see it,
Yes.
if you want to go back, we did Honey Heist over the weekend. Andy and Kelsey were in towns. They're at the table in the flesh. It was a great time.
I normally don't shill our own shit, but that was primo.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
primo. That
As
was
I
good.
said,
you may not like it, but that's what peak RP looks like.
as I said yesterday, it is simultaneously my most regretful moment and my most proud moment at the same time.
Yeah, you think
That's
Critical
the thing
Role
about it.
is dramatic? Wait till you see Honey Heist by the Legends of Avantris crew.
Stay tuned for more heists.
Stay tuned for
maybe.
more heists.
Hashtag used up Rhonda.
Yeah, hashtag use it Rhonda.
Used up Rhonda.
Hashtag kiss your mother, Vinny. Anyway. With that, we will get into last time.
Music?
God.
Do you have any music?
Oh. I think I have a little bit of music. Oh, no, not this is. I have so many devices. I don't ever since the technology happens.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done squeezing
Okay,
the
we'll
cheek.
talk about
So,
No, that's Ganji.
that. Andy, okay.
last session, the party made their way deeper into the volcano lair of Orpheus Radamanthus, the tiefling sorcerer who they've been chasing, at least Vanders has been chasing since session 1, since he left Gullhaven after disbanding with his bounty hunter crew. They finally reached his lair. They made their way through. There were a few puzzles here and there. They finally encountered the grown version of the strange red and blue tadpoles that they had first encountered in Orpheus' safe house in Gullhaven, which they then learned are Slotty, a red slot and 2 red slotty and a blue slot. They fought them. Vanders got impregnated by one of them. Ganji luckily was able to cure him. Afterwards, and after a couple puzzles, then in the next room,
I already marked off all the spells.
there was a statue that asked to tell a sad story. They discovered that it was for sad stories, true stories, to make the statue cry. They then discovered that it was looking for 5 good stories. Sylvie told 3 of them, telling about her past back home in the swamps of Whippoorwillow Swamp.
That was just a story about some random.
Oh, some random. Yeah, no, it was
Yeah,
random.
it
Sorry.
was random.
Nice.
Which is true, but it was
Spoilers,
random.
spoilers.
Yeah.
And then another when Vanders almost got the party killed, which you can check out episode 7. And
No, later than that.
I think it is 7.
Is
No,
it?
no, it's
Lucky
shocking.
number 7.
Oh, wow.
It's shocking how
Okay.
I think it's 7, maybe not. With that, then followed up finally with the story of Sophina, who you unfortunately didn't have the opportunity to meet on stream, but she was the entire impetus of the campaign, of the party joining together, and the entire first arc. They then discovered that she was basically a hag egg, turned into a hag. It was really sad. That
We have that episode recorded. Maybe we'll
Yes.
upload it one day.
do we?
We do.
Do.
Oh man!
Where she turned.
What?
Yeah, we have it recorded.
Well, maybe we'll record it as presented as bonus features.
Yeah.
Then Vandris followed up with the tale of how his bounty hunting band split up. How there was a group of them and they had taken a job Vandris had pushed forward, although one of the party members didn't feel great about it. And in the house, whether it was a trap or otherwise, there was spirits erupted out of all the walls and
I'm sorry.
attacked the party. And Hissy Bright Orchard, one of the members of the Avantris' party, unfortunately sacrificed herself to save everyone, which is the reason why Miria hates him so much and why their party broke up. finally, Annulin told the tale of the reason why she left home. The story of how she thought it was like a day like any other. She was off in the woods, and when she came home, she discovered that fire giants had raided her village, killed her father, stolen her mother, and basically burned the whole thing to the ground. And how she feels aimless, and how that's the saddest thing and the truest thing she can think of. The statue finally cried and revealed its own story, the story of Orpheus, Avantris, young boy from the treetops in a jungle city. He had a... Was that? Oh, turn it down. Yeah, let me know if the music's bad. In the treetops. He had a father who was a judge that ruled the whole people. He fled the town, joined the circus, discovered freedom for the first time, met a woman who showed him incredible kindness, and unfortunately the circus was stopped at a village that didn't really appreciate them, accused them of dark magic, and hanged all the carnies and destroyed everything. And this woman that he mentioned, in one last act of kindness, helped save him. He left and became an archaeology professor. He didn't find the actual professorizing that interesting, so he scoured the world for strange artifacts and relics. One of these artifacts was a strange, multicolored, shifting, toad-looking statue. He touched it, was ripped into the plane of limbo, into the elemental chaos there. For only a brief second, when he came to, the statue was gone. He had sorcerer powers, and he had a vision of bringing limbo to the world, and the Slotty to the world. And that opened the door. The final room were 4 strange pillar contraptions, and with all of them had markings which implied that a different source of power was to be used on each one of them. They used the power of martial kinetic strength, or kinetic power, they used divine power, they used nature power, and they used arcane power. And once they did that, the door opened. There was a loud crack. And hold on. There was a loud crack, and they heard crackling sound and a blast of energy, and Orpheus thanked them. And that is where the session starts. Does anyone have any questions?
Let's do this!
So you all had a short rest, remember, during the stories?
Yes. I'm gonna drink this real quick.
I taked it. I'm le good.
D.A.E. look good.
I am, yeah.
D.A.E. La Bacon Narwhal.
I don't know.
XD.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna put the hoots on the floor.
I've never been more ready for anything in my entire life.
As the door finishes sliding open and the sound of the crackling chaotic energy erupts from behind it, you're nearly blinded by the vibrant light that blasts out of the door. The color shifts wildly between every color you can imagine. You see that the door opens to a short hallway connecting to a room where the cacophony is coming from. Despite the blaring noise, you can clearly hear Orpheus's voice. It worked! It actually worked! I mean, of course it worked! You're all sweet for lending me your power, and it's not even my birthday. What would I do without my friends? Definitely not tear open this rift in limbo. Not as epic as Plan A, but you know what they say. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. The show must go on, and plenty more trite idioms.
Is that it? So
you hear the energy crackling.
All right, guys, we need to be careful. We need to move quickly, and we need to make sure he doesn't leave this lair.
And I think he's right through there. Can we hear him like directly
He's
in the next room?
directly down the hallway in that room is what it sounds like.
And you said like a cacophony of noise, that is energy, is that what?
Yeah, it's like energy, and his voice is, it sounds like it should be drowned out, but his voice is projecting through it.
And what do we see in the current room besides the big like pulsing like pillars?
You see those pulsing thing. You have noticed that those purple cables are kind of glowing with this crackling energy. It's a little bit dull, but it is, the cables are also glowing off as they connect into the walls. They're hanging above the lava pit.
can we see into the room where we heard his voice coming from?
It is this blazing, radiant light is blinding. You can't really make out anything down the hallway.
Alright, I turn to the rest of the gang and I say, now or never, I'm going in.
Let's stop him.
Okay.
And remember, he's got a genie, so don't forget about that.
Okay.
And I follow Avantris.
Okay. Ganji follows you and he says like, "Blessings be unto Bahamut." Whatever the clerics say. And I've never played a cleric. As you can tell, you all run in. The door is opening, the crackling white light. As soon as you rush into the door, you are finally able to make out the scene. The door slams shut behind you. And you see a large cube-shaped room with the form of Orpheus standing at the center. His body is radiating violent, chaotic energy that rockets upward. You realize that this is the source of the light that was illuminating from the doorway. His limbs, all four, are connected to four thick purple cables, similar to the ones that you saw in the previous chamber. Each one fastened to the ground and running to a different corner of the room. You realize at this moment that the other ends of the cables are fastened to strange capsule contraptions made out of a combination of metal, glass, and stone. Each of these are of varying sizes and are radiating with a similar light. Within each of the chambers, you can make out a different form within each. The capsule directly to your right as you enter the room, so you're right at the door, two corners, and then two corners. The capsule to your right is a single huge egg, its shell slowly cracking along the surface. Sitting in the back right corner of the room is a bejeweled helmet that you recognize as the Eyes of the Abyss, shaking as its gems glow brightly. In the back left corner of the room is the largest of all the capsules. Oh my goodness. Full of dozens of what you know to be flail snails. Their fleshy bodies shriveling up and turning black, and their shells snapping into pieces. To your left, you see a capsule, a large humanoid-looking shape, bound in place. Within the capsule, it is a feminine figure with deep red skin and bright red hair from where black horns protrude. Her blazing golden eyes are wide open in agony as she impotently struggles against her prison. As you look up to see where the beam of energy is going, you see the fruits of Orpheus's labor. At the very top of the room is a tear in reality, out of which pure elemental chaos of limbo blasts and swirls. The ceiling crackles with chaotic energy, and beyond the tear in reality, you see a large hole where most of the chaos seems to be pouring. And more than that, you see just barely from behind this rift the horrific shapes of red and blue slotty pouring forth from limbo by the dozens, almost as if riding the chaos upward into the hole leading to a tunnel. You're barely able to hear their guttural, gibbering croaking as they flood the world and shoot up beyond your sight. The walls of the room have also changed. The near wall, directly behind you, you hear howling wind and see dark tornadoes crackling with lightning that form over its surface, seemingly unaffected by the gravity of the room. On the far wall ahead, you see the wall rupture and rumble as the stone of the surface shifts, and thick swaths of treacherous-looking mud bubble up. The wall to your right is covered with a dense fog, and you can see rushing whirlpools, churning violently. On the left wall, you see that the stone glows red hot as these tall, lapping flames snake across the surface. You notice the beam from the floor of the ceiling dissipate as you shortly after you enter the room, as the portal rages above you, and when you look back down at Orpheus, he is no longer bathed in energy. And neither are the detached cables or the capsules in the corner of the room. And although the person before you is clearly the sorcerer you've been pursuing for all these months, he's been significantly changed. His red pupils now blaze like flames. His black hair is streaked with erratic swaths of red, pinks, and greens. His outfit and his body seem to have been fused together, as you see his entire person is covered in rubbery flesh not unlike that of the Slotty you've encountered, and with wild colors in every shade of purple, along with swirls of oranges, reds, and pinks. His fingers are tipped with jagged claws, and finally, his broad grin, as he looks at you devilishly, is filled with razor-sharp teeth. Expecting my mortal look? That's old news, and old news bores me. We must look to the future, and the future is limbo. The future is chaos. The future is brand new me. And you're all lucky enough to be the first ones to die in the glorious future. It's the least I can do for helping me make my dream into reality. Oh, that sounded like a yearbook signature. Can we do over? And then immediately magic crackles in his hand as he calls forth the power of limbo. Everyone roll for initiative.
I look at Avantris.
Is that?
It's a good thing I'm feeling
Out of
fresh.
character, I just shat my pants. This sounds terrifying.
Holy. So Rodek looks up while he's saying this. So there's a tear to limbo. And
Tear to limbo.
And
So
Slotty
honestly,
are going up into it?
Slotty, it seems as if a hole with a tunnel boring straight up has been dug or magically created. And these Slotty seem to be riding the chaos, just upwards, being shooting upwards.
Okay. Got it.
As if they're funneling into the mountains, into these tunnels, going who knows where. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna need 10 to 15.
11 for Ganji.
I got a 25. Did we skip over?
Oh, sorry, 20 to 25. I apologize.
Oh, I thought we were starting from the bottom. This
Yeah,
time.
no.
20.
23.
I'm sorry. I got a 22. For a split second, I thought it was like time magic, and you like reversed the.
Yeah, no,
issue.
that would be funny. Rodek, you got a 20?
20, yeah.
Added 23.
23 you did?
So
22 for me.
Annuan, Sylvie, Vandris, Rodek. Gandy's way at the bottom.
Annual, Sylvie, Vandris, Rodek.
Mm-hmm.
Then initiative round 20. I need to roll initiative here.
Yeah, I wasted my first natural 20 on initiative, so.
Yeah, I got a 17.
So, Jesus Christ.
Hopefully there are more where this comes from.
I'm choosing to see that as a good omen.
Yes, me too. I'm trying.
Okay.
Should we cover the map?
We should.
Just so we can set the scene a little bit.
Oh. Uncover the
I'm
whole
so
thing.
nervous.
Uncover the whole thing.
Oh god.
There. I'll hold this for you until it's time.
Ignore all of the markings on the ground.
Okay, so it's just a room. It's a square room. We don't see any magma or anything.
Nope. These are the items
Oh, that's nice.
I described.
Oh shit.
Flail snails and the eyes of the abyss. At the center of the room is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boink. Okay. There it is.
Where are we?
You may place yourself within the entrance of the room.
Put your hand behind it, remember?
Oh yeah. Ugh. So hold up. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this.
So you hold it with one hand, you place your hand behind it with the other. Further, so you hold it with your fingers,
Okay.
you place your hand behind
So,
it.
Anyway.
Why don't you place the minis? You can,
Technical difficulties.
There he is. Whatever.
Whatever, you are so bad at this.
I'm
You've
so bad
obviously
at this.
never
So this is
watched
the door.
YouTube.
the door is, in the center, directly in front of you, Rich.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, why don't we get this in a...
Can we move this out a little bit?
So you said ignoring the markings, right?
Ignore the markings on the floor. They mean nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So our characters cannot see those.
Nope. It is just a huge room, how I described. And,
Gotcha.
So there's an egg here, by the way. I'm not gonna get that,
That's fine.
but I'm gonna get everything else.
What was the other? What is? I forget what Eyes of Abyss is. What is that again?
that is the helmet that Diadra used to summon the dragon turtle. And also, that she used, along with the other things, to summon the primeval one. You're not a summoner.
Sorry.
This is Zaki's egg. This is the gin. And then these are the just snails, flat snails. Holy shit.
So put our minis down,
Okay,
Richie.
so
Place your minis,
minis.
please.
I raise my sword and I look at
You're not
Avantris.
first in order.
I know, I'm just saying. Are you ready?
I've told you before, and I'll tell you again. I'm literally never scared. Let's do this.
And you can place it like wherever you want, just to start.
Can we be like in the room?
Why don't you just place them when you start, and then you can choose your movement. But like around you're all in the room.
Okay, so let's just sort of, the three of us are up front. I'll say Vandris is like right there, and then these guys are here, and Lumi. Do you want Lumi out?
21 for Lumi, by the way.
Oh, okay, let's do this.
Once you've voted for Lumi.
Yeah, I figure with this fight, I might actually use her.
Okay, so is Lumi just being back here fine?
Yeah. Unless you want her to just share my initiative. I can't remember how it goes with familiars.
They roll their own initiative.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So, and we'll remember if she has her own initiative.
Yeah.
Okay. Annual, you're up.
Oh god. I am like totally overwhelmed by the sight in front of me, and I'm gonna have my bow, but I'm just gonna stand there like bewildered and ready an attack.
Okay.
What's the trigger for your attack?
Oh yeah.
So like, what would trigger your attack throughout somebody else's turn?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was just like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know how ready an attack works. I've never done it before.
So basically, you say if something happens, then I do an attack.
Correct.
So and then once if that trigger happens before your next turn, you do it.
Generally, it's if somebody gets in range, but your range is like 400 billion.
Right,
So,
so
it's
it's
like you
range-
can make the attack whenever.
Or it could be like if he doesn't attack, or it could be if the ceiling explodes, I want to attack Orpheus. It could be like literally anything.
If I saw someone else attack Orpheus, I would follow suit.
Okay. And you get the full attack action, right? It's not just one. You get all your
It's the
attacks.
full attack action.
Okay, great. So, Annulin, you are shaking as you hold your bow, as Orpheus's new form, still the same size, but just totally transformed, is standing in front of you. Sylvie, you're up.
I am going to transfer my hex to him.
Okay.
And I'm going to Eldritch Blast him twice.
Okay.
18 and 24.
18 and
To hit.
24, both hit.
So
Hey, Crystallinia.
30 points of damage.
30 points of damage. He gets both arcs of your glitter lance smash into his shoulders, and you see his flesh shifting. And he looks at you and says, "Oh, is that a way to greet an old friend?" And then all of a sudden, you see him start to channel some sort of energy. It crackles all over him, and his skin is starting to just violently gyrate. And all attacks against him until his turn have disadvantage.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Bandage, you're up, man.
Well, so Annulin does her
Oh,
stuff 'cause
Annulin,
I attack.
you're up.
Yeah, so seeing that, I would have fired off 2 arrows.
Okay, both at disadvantage.
So 15 is the first disadvantage.
15 misses.
What about 16? No, wait, 17.
17 also misses.
Uh-oh.
As you fire 2 arrows,
It's gonna be tough.
you feel like you're going to hit your mark, and all of a sudden his shifting flesh kind of shifts out of the way, and you miss both of your arrows. After that, he says, "Let me try," and he is going to hurl a chaotic bolt of energy right at you, Annulin. You see that this is radiating a crackling multicolor hue, and you can see that it's shifting from flame to a storming cloud with lightning to a frosty blast of ice, and then this like weird acidic looking mud, and it's just cycling through as it flies through you, and he's going to make an attack.
I'm so sad.
That is going to hit. And if I can find the fucking thing. That is going to do 12 points of lightning damage as it blasts into you. and you feel that it shifts right at the last moment before it hits you to this thundering cloud, and you get shocked with lightning energy. Okay. Vanders, you're up.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
I'm preparing. Sorry. I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to charge Orpheus head on.
Okay.
Right there.
Yep. And I'm going to attempt to make an attack.
Okay.
I have disadvantage.
Yep.
Ooh, that was actually 16 was my low roll, which is a 25.
25 hits.
Hey, Ganji's not dead. He's moving tonight and needed
He's
some.
surely alive.
Needed some
Roaring
extra
like
time.
a
Oh
lion.
baby, this is incredible. I'm on fire already. I got let's see here. That's 24, 27 plus 6 is 33. And I shout, one of us is leaving here dead, Orpheus, as I stab him.
So you stab him in the abdomen with venom spine as he kind of hunches forward a little bit. He looks at you and says, "Oh, I miss you too, Vanny Poo. Is that any way to treat an old friend?" And he snaps his fingers, and flames erupt directly in front of you. Make a dex saving throw, please.
Oh, I love dex saving throws. It's a 28.
28. So you take no damage from this, right?
Correct.
So a pillar of flame erupts, and you manage to dodge everything as he starts to shift. And as soon as he stands there and he looks at all of you and he says, "I'm so glad you could be here for this momentous occasion. Now, kindly, pretty please die." And he is going to hold out his hand, and it crackles with multicolored light, and an enormous beam, array of beams in a 60-foot cone bursts out of every kind of color. And
60,
From where?
60?
from him.
60, so it's basically all of us.
I want to cast counterspell.
Ah!
Okay.
Got him!
Ray!
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray!
A football giveaway, whatever that is.
So you got to roll,
Let's do it.
and I'll let you know it's a 7th level spell.
Okay. So I
So you just did
roll.
an AoE 7th level spell
So
on us,
I
guys.
roll a. What do I roll again? How do I do this? A D1 or a D20?
A D20. It should say on the spell.
Yeah, no, I just have 2 characters right now, and I'm part bard and part warlock, and I'm just so scared.
Have them in different tabs.
I do. It's so helping. Okay.
Do inspiration?
Oh, what am I doing? Yes, actually, I do have inspiration, so I am going to use that and not this guy. This is my
And
good one.
so that's not a saving throw.
Huh?
That's not a saving throw. You just roll it, right?
Yes, I just counter it. If it were level 3 or below, it auto fails.
Okay.
Otherwise, I have to roll, and that was even worse. So,
So hold on, what would it be? You cast it at 4th level.
Yeah, so I add my charisma mod, right?
Yeah, you had your charisma mod.
Oh, it would have been a 15.
So is that enough to cancel it?
No, it's a 17, right?
Hold
yeah,
on.
it's 10 plus. It's 10 plus the spell.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 10 plus the spell level.
Yeah, so it's 17 to hit.
So,
Oh, that's the DC. Okay.
Yeah.
The DC is 10. That's too bad.
so no.
So
That doesn't work. I just fail
you try to
God damn
counter
it.
spell, and you're unable to. As this incredibly high level spell, all of these colored beams blast out at you.
Holy
I
shit.
need everyone to make a dex saving throw.
Well, at least I wasted my really shitty rolls on that.
Can you refresh me? Exhaustion is disadvantage on saving throws?
Just
No,
ability
just
checks.
ability check. So if you want to do it
Just
after
ability
that,
checks, okay.
I got a 20.
It was nice knowing you. Ooh.
Annulin. Let me know what you all got.
20.
20.
I got a. This is hard. 15?
Okay.
No. Is that right? Yeah. Plus 9. 15.
Okay.
Natural 20 pickle, right? So 23.
I got a 9, 10,
Why?
11.
What can you been from a counter spell?
And what about Ganji?
Oh yeah, I have to roll for Ganji. 13.
13.
I'm going to use Indomitable already.
Sure.
I did not want to
Yeah,
use it before
13.
I do. I re-roll a saving throw. 18.
18. That barely passes.
Woo!
So Ganji and
Hashtag
Annulet,
worth.
you fail. So you are all still, I guess Vanders isn't. So Annulet, you are hit with a blast of purple energy. You are now blinded. You can make a saving throw at the start of your next turn.
Okay.
Thanks for the cheer, Sebs. Thanks for stopping by.
So wait, who's blinded?
Annulet. So he's basically rolling further in. And
Oh, gotcha.
Better than damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't Ray of
Okay.
instantly melt you.
And
That's
with
what I was
that,
worried about.
it is Sylvie.
So
You-
Ganji passed with his, 13?
No, he failed.
Oh.
So Sylvie, you get hit by an orange blast. You're going to take half of.
Oh, jeez.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
That's a lot of dice.
Oh, Ganji has advantage, remember, because of the shield.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
that's worse.
12, 14, 16, 16.
He's not the most agile.
37 points.
That's half?
Half of 37 points.
Oh, I thought you said
So
that
half
was
of 37
half.
points of acid damage. And so, Vandris, you are going to take none, right? Because
Yes.
Okay. So let's see what blast it was though. It's the yellow, a blast of yellow light. You managed to dodge all of the way. Okay. With that, it's Rodek, and
Holy crap.
you are going to take half.
Fudge.
You get hit by a red blast. You manage to dodge a bunch of it, but 10, 20, 25, 26, 29, 36 points. Half of 36 points of fire damage. And Ganji is going to get hit by the. He's getting hit by the blue, by the blue beam, and it blasts into him. He is taking all of this. Oh wow, I rolled really shitty. 4, 8, 6, 11. Oh my god, 11, 14, 18, 18, 19, 25, 28 points of damage. Full of cold damage. Full.
28?
28 points of cold damage. As it blasts Ganji. He is not able to dodge in time. Okay.
Well, Misaki's gonna get his wish.
Yep. Good luck. And Lumi.
I told you I've been getting stronger.
Oh,
Should
yeah.
Lumi?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Lumi's
Lumi.
gonna have to.
Yeah.
She rolled. She's also invisible, but I guess that doesn't really matter for this. And she's 60 feet in the air because she's flying. So I don't know if that matters.
I think that you probably had been able to dodge out of the way. We'll just say for this.
I'm just not sure if it matters. I rolled an 18.
I feel like she would have
Dex.
flown up, like, and it's
So
a
she
cone
would
in
have been
air, so
21,
we'll say
so.
he's not even registering her. Okay, with that, it is. Sorry about that. It's Lumi's turn.
Yeah, no, she's just gonna stay flying in
Okay,
the
she's
air.
gonna stay flying in the air, invisible. Rodek, you're up.
I'm just gonna run at him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll scream while I am attacking him. Oh, I'm disadvantaged, right?
Here's advantage. Oh no, not anymore. You're no longer disadvantaged. His skin starts to stabilize because we reach his turn again.
Okay.
But however, at the beginning of his turn, you start to see, similar to the Slotty, his wounds start to close up. His rubbery flesh, as the wounds that you did are closing up a bit. Okay.
I scream, "Why are you doing this? I don't buy it!" And I want to attack him twice.
Okay.
15. Is that
Hold
what it
on,
is?
hold on.
War thing. You can just say war thing.
I think it's guided.
Oh,
strike.
no,
What
not
is it?
disadvantage. That was.
You're not disadvantaged.
Oh shit! What was my
Roll it
roll?
again.
Okay, sorry. My bad.
No.
My bad. 25.
25 hits. Roll damage.
I just want to roll both. That one is bad. 14. So the
Because
first
he only has 2 uses of it.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage.
14 damage as your crocodile cleaver slices him across the way. The necrotic wound seeps into his body. Keep track of that, but I'm not. 13 points of damage, you said?
Yes. Oh, wait, hold up. Nope, max damage.
Nope.
So 12, 13, 18 damage.
18, okay. Okay, your sword swings in. It slices him. And he and you kind of see that there's this strange multicolored soupy blood that is pouring out of him, and it's like swirling with color as it falls. And with that, it is okay. With that, for the first time in the battle, you notice shapes emerge from the side of the portal that you're not on. A number of writhing red creatures, 8 in total, fall from the portal and land on the ground. They're clearly slotty, but smaller than the grown ones you had fought, quadrupedal and with tails. You get a sense that this creature is the stage of slod in between tadpole and the mature that you fought, and likely not strong enough to surf the chaos up into the volcano. Their eyes lock on you, and they lunge to attack. Oh, aren't they cute? They remind me of the pets my father let me keep. I promise still no daddy issues. And they are going to boink. Boink, 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 boink. Actually, I have something over here. Okay.
Uh-oh.
And they're going to act immediately. And so we are going to do 3 attacks on Rodak here. Oh my god. Oh, you managed to dodge all of their attacks. Avantris, you have 2 attacking you. And you managed to dodge all of theirs as well. Wait, hold on. 1 actually manages to hit. That's my bad.
Boo, all uncanny dodge.
Okay. You dodge out of the way, and you take a total of 7 points of piercing damage as the teeth sink into you. Okay, attack against Sylvie here. That is going to be hit. That's going to be a hit. And that is going to deal 6 points of piercing damage. And then 1 on Ganji here. That is going to miss. And we have 1 on Annulin here. That is going to hit. And, ooh, that's going to be 6 points of piercing on Annulin. Okay. Ganji's up.
Okay, sorry. He's out of a bunch of stuff. So I'm trying to... Yeah, I mean, he went into it with absolutely no 3rd level spells.
That's bad.
So, I'm going to, because I always know the things you do,
Spirit Guardians?
What, he's used, that's a 3rd level spell.
You can do it at 4th level.
No, he can't.
Oh, he's only 4th
He's out
level?
of 4th and 3rd level spells.
No, he has 4th level spells. Oh, I guess he can, it just doesn't show on D&D Beyond that he can. It just does more damage. So...
I mean, it sucks to waste a 4th level spell on that.
But it's on all of those things.
Okay.
So yeah,
I have never played it before, Mikey. Can you give me a break?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, I guess I'm gonna cast Spirit Guardians, like,
It's on you.
It's around him.
It's on you.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he'll probably move into the middle.
So yeah, he's gonna move into the middle, opportunity attack from that guy.
What's the range on it?
It's 15 feet around
It's going to miss
him.
the opportunity attack against him.
So,
1, 2, 3. So he'd probably go up here, right?
Okay. He walks
like
up.
right behind you guys, I would imagine. So he's as close as possible to everything. That way he can hit Orpheus.
Yeah, so he'll go...
He's going to walk
he'll
up
go
there, and an angelic, draconic figure emerges on his back, and it's shining this platinum light. Okay, and with that, and that's concentration number.
Yes.
And with that, Orpheus is going to do something. What's he going to do here? He is going to look at Avantris and cast one of those Chaos Bolts. And that is going to hit. And that is going to deal...
Now I wish I hadn't uncannily dodged. Wait.
What?
Okay, no, it's fine. It hits.
Sorry. 13 points of...
Is this a spell attack?
It is a melee spell attack and range spell attack. So
I'd like to use my reaction to hit him.
that's fire damage. 13 points of fire damage. As it blasts into you.
24.
24. Okay, that hits.
Okay. 8. 14 damage.
14 damage. So your sword swings in as you see that Avantris gets attacked, and it slices in and it applies another rank of wounds, and 14 points of damage. And okay, and he's been sliced up here. With that,
Is it his turn?
Was that?
Was it his turn or was that a reaction? Because he just rolls wounds damage.
It wasn't his turn.
It wasn't his turn. Okay, he's fine. So I need to know.
Okay, Annulin, you're up.
Okay, so I make a saving throw for being blind.
Yes.
Do I add anything, or is it just a straight roll?
It's a con save. Hold on, let me see what saving throw it is real quick. Wisdom. Add your wisdom saving throw.
That's a hot 8.
Hot 8. Okay. So you're still blind, and you're not able to see as this violet light is in your face. And what are you gonna do?
So I'm even more freaking out now because I'm totally blind. I'm gonna just kind of put my hand on my chest and whisper some words and do a lesser restoration to cure blindness.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, you touch your chest, and a green natural energy cures your blindness. You can finally see as the white light, or the purple light rather, is out of your vision. The violet light.
Okay, and then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast my Hunter's Mark on Orpheus.
Okay. You channel the Hunter's Mark onto him.
Okay, and I will stay where I am. Can I ask though, before we go?
Yeah.
Could you describe like the things in the forward corner? What kind of? You said that they're like each kind of crackling with energy. Is it coming from a source, or is it just radiating from
the crackling in all of them seems to have died down along with the cables. Everything on the floor seems to be relatively calm. They're just these large capsule things now.
Does the genie look dead? Or whatever this is.
It looks to, its eyes are closed, it looks to be kind of passed out, at least you can't really tell from here if it's alive or dead. Okay. And with that, as soon as you cure yourself, Orpheus is going to say, Toodles! And an eruption of chaos energy is going to peer beneath him, and he is going to ride it away from you 40 feet.
Well, he has to do the wisdom save first, because he started in range of the spirit guardians. Or
No, that's not his turn. It's not his turn, it's a legendary action.
And he's not using his movement, right?
Correct. What? He's using it without provoking opportunity attack.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. That's part of the thing. He's gonna go over there, and then with that, Sylvia's turn.
Okay. I still have my hex on him.
Oh.
I am just going to glitter lance him.
Okay.
Are they normal attacks?
Yes.
Okay. 14 and then 21.
14 and 21.
21 hits.
21 hits.
15 damage.
15 damage. As one of the arcs kind of flies off, hits the capsule with the flail snails. One hits him in the stomach, and he kind of grabs his stomach, and he is going to look at you and hurl one of his chaos bolts at you. And that's going to be his last legendary action this turn. And that's a 12. And he misses it, flies over your head, smashing into the but thick mud hits the wall, and it slides down. Okay, with that, it is Vanessa's turn.
I'm going to use my bonus action to dash at him.
Okay, you'll take 2 opportunity attacks.
Yep, 2 opportunity attacks.
Do you want to be right there, or do you want to be around him?
No, straight at him.
Okay.
And I shot him. You're not getting away.
Well, that's what you think for now. And you are going to take 7 points of piercing damage as one of the metamorphs, there's a lot of metamorphs, bites into you. And you run after Orpheus.
Okay. I'm going to attack him.
Okay.
I can use my inspiration, correct? To re-roll, like with advantage?
Correct. Well, yeah, you just add another die.
Alright, I'm finally remembered to use my inspiration. After all of the inspiration I've ever collected, I'm just going to use one right here.
Okay.
That's a 26.
26 hits. Roll damage.
$25 points of damage.
25 points of damage. As you sprint after him, one of the metaphors manages to get a bite off of you, but you are keeping on your mark. It's been this long, and once again, your rapier finds purchase on its flesh, and he is bleeding. And with that, it is his turn. And
So he rolls 2d4.
2d4. Okay. That's a 2.
He takes 2 damage.
2 points. Oh yeah, the necrotic.
Yeah.
The necrotic wounds seep into him.
And then a con saving throw, DC 15.
As his flesh heals up a little bit. 2 okay.
If we're lucky, the necrotic damage will slow the regen.
Hopefully.
And he is going to what's the DC?
15.
15. He's going to heal his wounds as the wounds kind of dissipate out of his body, and he is going to.
Thanks for the
Thank you,
cheer,
Winnie.
Winnie.
You guys are
Winnie
amazing.
activated a football giveaway. I don't know what that is.
Football
It's
giveaway.
all very World Cup related.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And with that, Orpheus looks at you, and his fingers crackle as flames engulf his entire body, and it is radiating in a radius around him. And he says, "Too hot to handle." And let me see, Vandus. You need to. Vandus, it's so hot you are just going to straight up take 1 point of fire damage.
Wow.
1 point of fire
no,
damage.
I was almost scared for a minute.
We'll see next time how you do. And with that, it is his turn.
Whose turn?
Rather, it's Lumi's turn.
She's gonna continue to fly. She's actually gonna be 60. She's gonna move towards the center of the room, still up in the air, her full 60 feet.
Okay.
Well, you can get all the way here.
Okay, cool. That's what
Oh,
I'm
there.
doing then. Yeah. That's all she's gonna do.
Okay, she flies up. She's looking over the battlefield. Rodek, you're up.
Looking at Orpheus and remembering my mistake from the King Krem fight. Oh, shit! And I just turn around and I just come in for these guys. Knowing probably...
Rodek knows. Rodek's got ad management. Let me stick to the ball.
All right. I'm going... So the first one is a 21.
21 hits.
Okay, I'll just roll damage first.
Just for your context, Rodek, just so we can make it nice and quick, they have 13 AC.
Okay. 15 damage to number 7.
15 damage, number 7. You slice it in half, and it wriggles as it falls down. It's chaotic flesh, and you just kind of pull those off the map.
A natty 1. Okay.
Okay.
So I miss. I will use a bonus action because I killed
Okay.
something to attack number 3. That hits,
Okay.
and it did a bunch of damage.
You start hacking these to pieces. One manages to dodge out of the way, but you are able to kill 2 of them.
Hey, Castle Mac,
We're
thanks for
about to
stopping
die.
by.
Thanks for hanging out on the
And,
TPK.
You join us for the TPK. It's perfect.
And Rodek, after you do that, Orpheus kind of looks at all of you and he says, "I think I need even more friends." And he's going to wave his hand, and you see directly in his space 3 ghostly copies of Orpheus, all kind of dancing around, trying to trip you. And
Hold on. So at the end of my turn, can I just use my movement?
Yep.
So I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of like get there, but then like looking back, I don't want to get too far away from them.
Okay.
So I just
So
wanna...
now he has mirror image on. He casts mirror image, And so there are three ghostly copies dancing on him. And with that, suddenly, the portal above you pulses with a burst of energy, and you feel yourself pulled into the air, as if gravity no longer applied to the world. Everything not anchored down swirls around in the center of the room for a moment before you feel gravity kick back in, but not towards the direction of the floor. You look down and begin to fall towards, and that is going to be, you fall towards the wall that is covered in fire.
Oh!
What?
And with that...
This is crazy!
And...
No way.
So, these are gone.
So these are like anchored to the...
Those are anchored to the floor. Throw them up.
Okay.
Quick, Richie, steal this book!
Boink.
Won by cheating.
Why are we all gonna die?
Vanish, you are barely out of this.
Oh, baby!
So she's just sort of flying in the middle of the room, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah,
just
yeah.
roughly
She
here.
wouldn't have been affected by that because
Yeah.
she's flying.
You guys are lucky Larrys here, guys.
So now
skill.
are we on the wall now?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh my fucking god.
I'm lucky for once in my life!
Jesus Christ.
Today we all have the lucky feet.
So
Amazing.
That's the only one we're gonna get all day.
You all drop down and fall, and you all kind of find your bearings, and we're not going to all roll dex saving throws, so that'll take way too fucking long. So none of you manage.
Everybody cheer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You now look, and the floor that you were just standing on is a wall to your right. And you are now standing on the side of the wall with all these flames whipping up. That there is fire glowing. It is very hot. It is very oppressive here. Okay. With that, it is the Metamorph's turn. All of them need to make wisdom saving throws.
Yeah, 8, 6, and 4.
I'm just going to do one for all of them. And they fail tremendously as the platinum light just obliterates them, incinerating all of them.
Should I just remove them?
Are you sure?
Yes, remove
You
them.
don't want me to roll? It's
If they-
4d8.
If they fail, they're minions. So they have
Okay.
one.
So they
Oh, they have
just
one
die no matter what.
If
Right?
they...
still take
yes,
half damage.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Unless you want to homebrew it, but yeah.
No. For now, they just die immediately.
Okay.
Okay. And with that, we have, however, one is going to chase after Annulin, so 2 are going to be on Annulin. And you notice that they're kind of moving a lot more freely in this strange temporal space. And 1 is going to hit Annulin here. And that is going to deal 7 points of piercing damage as its teeth sinks in your flesh. Sylvie is going to get a natural 1 on Sylvie, and then are any other metamorphs alive? No. All of the other metamorphs have been killed by Rhoda or Ganji, and with that is Ganji's turn.
And he is going to cast Sacred Flame on
That's what it's called.
Orpheus. It's a dex
What's
save.
the range on it?
60 feet. Yeah.
Barely. Literally barely.
Sorry about that, guys. I lost my music.
No problem.
Oh, I gotta make a dex
a
save.
dex
Yeah,
save.
dex save.
On Orpheus,
Yeah.
or... Okay. He is going to... whoo! That is going to be, even at advantaged, is going to be dex saving throw, you said?
Yeah.
That is going to be 15.
Fails.
He fails.
Okay. Yeah,
It's not like it really matters. It's going to take 4 points.
4 points of
radiant
damage as the platinum flame comes down from Bahamut and singes him a little bit.
That's that's that. And let's see. I might have a bonus action. I just want to check one thing. 'Cause that was yeah. And then he's going to cast he's going to cast as a bonus action Sanctuary, which is not concentration, on he's going to move up a little bit, so he's within 30 feet of Avantris, and he's going to cast it on Avantris.
Okay.
My man!
This is barely within 30 feet. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly where I want.
So he walks up and casts Sanctuary on you. This shimmering platinum bluish shield emerges on you, and you are protected by Bahamut. Wait, isn't that concentration?
No.
It isn't.
No, it is
Holy
not.
shit, okay. And,
I checked.
Are you sure?
Yes.
With that,
Sanctuary, no C.
Oh yeah, unless it's yeah.
and so with that, he is going to have one more
Bonus.
action, and he's going to say, "I don't like you, Scaly," and he is going to chuck one of his bolts at Ganji, and that is going to horrifically fail.
I
And,
love all of Orpheus' one-liners.
and with that, it is Anion's turn.
Okay, so opening my eyes and being unblinded, I'm gonna see the two little things in front of me and I will fire arrow at each.
Okay. Disadvantage.
She's a ranger, so it doesn't really
16 to hit one.
matter. Hits. Yeah, 13 AC.
Oh my god, I've never been so scared in my life.
16 hit both, so
16. You don't even need to roll damage when you're attacking minions, so just bang bang, and you just fire an arrow into each of their skulls. And
I'm
they
scared
just
enough for the
collapse.
both Sylvie Vanders. Well, all three
Okay.
Sylvie Vanders and
And with
Candy.
that, I'm out of legendary
so I'm
action.
gonna run. I'm gonna use my move.
Oh.
Shit, where did I get to go? I'm just gonna move kind of towards Ganji.
By the way, Ganji takes 2 points of fire damage because the heat is emanating so much. Annulin, you're going to take 2 points of fire damage as it's just burning you.
Annual, you have one more square of movement. Do you want to move anywhere, or is that good?
I'm actually just gonna back up one.
Oh, perfect.
Thanks.
Okay. And with that,
It's Shelby's turn.
it is
Shelby.
out of legendary action. Sylvie, it's your turn. Yes, Sylvie, your turn.
Okay. I am going to. How far away am I from him? Can you tell? Rich? Can you grab for me while I look up something?
You are from Orpheus. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh,
9,
my
10,
goodness.
11, 12, 13, 14. You're 15 squares. So, what is that?
I have no idea. Anyway, I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast him both
Okay.
times because that's just what I'm gonna do.
80 feet.
17 and 21.
17 and 21. The 17 misses on Orpheus, and 21 hits.
Show us your Hooters, chat, if you got them. Loving those Hooters.
15 damages.
15 damage, okay. And with that, it is going to...
Oh, and I'm sorry. As a bonus action, I am going to cast my bardic heal, the one that is
Healing Word.
Healing Word, and I'm going to cast that on Ganji.
Okay.
So
With Lume?
no, it's the ranged one.
Okay. You say a word, a little bardic word, and Ganji suddenly feels a little bit stronger. And
Oh no, that's the wrong die.
Vandus, you're up.
Okay, as a bonus action, may I chug my potion of heroic?
Okay, you chug your potion of heroism, and you feel suddenly far more heroic.
Haha!
I knew you
so
were a
it's like a
do-gooder.
10 temporary hit points, so I'm just gonna like add 10 to my hit points.
Yep.
Well, add it in the temp HP.
Add in the temp
bucket.
HP, and then every time you...
I'm using a TXT document.
Okay, so just write, just keep
and
it
you're
separate.
and you're affected by Bless.
So bless is for 1 hour, but it's anytime I make an attack, I get a D4.
Yes.
Beautiful. Hashtag too blessed to be stressed.
And it's as if you cast it, so you have to maintain concentration on it.
No, you don't.
Oh, so
No,
when
no,
I get
no
hit,
concentration.
Really?
No concentration.
Holy.
It's a potion.
It's a
JK.
potion.
Yeah.
Okay.
joke's on Orpheus. I'm
Yeah.
gonna roll to attack.
Okay.
Go have one.
Or with a D4 addition. 22.
22. Your rapier does find purchase in his stomach. He's like, "Ugh."
I'm rolling really well. 31 points of damage.
Oh,
31
boy.
points of damage as he spits up this colored blood, and he says, "I didn't know you cared." And it is now his turn. But he's going to say, "Try to dodge this one," and he is going to snap, and a pillar of flame is going to appear again. Do a dex saving throw.
Okay.
Who?
Vanners.
Okay.
Does he have to roll Wiz to attack Avantris because of Sanctuary?
It's a spell.
Oh, okay.
16.
16 fails. And you are going to take half of this. Oh my god.
It just says attempts against attack.
Attack.
With an attack or a harmful spell. Must first make a wisdom saving throw.
Harmful spell, okay. So he's going to make a whiz saving throw, and he is going to, you know what? He is going to use his one of his legendary actions, because he wants to fucking...
Resistance,
because he...
Legendary resistance,
He's going to resist, legendary resistance, because he hates Vander so much. Oh, no you don't. And you are going to take half of, wow, that's it.
Seriously, I'm
Half of
literally
14
scared
points
enough
of
for
damage.
everybody in this
Okay,
party
so
right now.
real quick, should I just subtract the 10? Like, I don't understand how temporary hit points work. Should I just get rid of my temporary hit points now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just back at
Think
regular
of
hit
it.
points.
Think of it like a shield.
Yeah, it's like a discipline.
Like a Tom Kent shield.
Yep.
Okay, and then I'll say, I was beginning to think you'd never touch me.
So that is his. So now it's actually his turn. And what is he gonna do, guys?
Who knows?
Say I made a terrible mistake and I'm sorry and stop all this nonsense.
Yeah, he's like realizing let's open up a flower shop in Goldhaven and be good for a change.
He wants to be a professor again.
Oh,
Cannolis are really easy
but
to make.
because
Gina
you,
loves them.
okay, it was not your. That was your turn. So you are actually going to take, because you ended your turn in the fire. You're still getting blasted by fire vandals. You're going to take 6 points of fire damage.
Well, if I'd known that. Alright, I take 6.
Okay. And with that, he is going to look at. You all dodge, and he is gonna take a little glowing orb, and he chucks it, and a little bead flies right to where Ganji is,
Oh jeez.
and explodes as fireball emerges. I need everyone to make a deck saving throw.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This is really bad.
That's 17.
Misses, fails.
I'm gonna use inspiration.
Does Ganji have inspiration?
No, but he's advantage on all magic saving throws.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I'm gonna use
so
inspiration
Sylvie
too.
might be too.
Why?
Not Dex.
Yeah.
She's advantage on magic, but it's not against
Okay.
Dex.
13.
13 fails.
Well,
Okay, so
26.
17
You
for
pass.
Sylvie, 16 for Ganji.
Sylvie's not affected.
Oh,
Sylvie's in the back of the room. It's just
these
Ganji,
guys.
Annulan, and Rodak.
okay. Well, then can I use my first roll, which was for Sylvie? So
Sure.
okay, cool. Then that would be it's still the same amount for.
Okay.
I can hear all those dice from here, and that sounds terrifying.
10.
It's nice knowing you
22,
guys.
22, 27, 28. 34 points of fire damage
15.
as it explodes. 15 for Ganji.
Yeah.
15 for Annulan.
34?
34 for Rodak.
Well, no. It'd
He
be,
takes
it'd
15
be
points.
some-
it'd be for half of
For half of 34.
is what?
16.
No, 17.
17.
32.
17. Yeah,
half of
17.
that.
Duh.
So,
I don't know where
Ganji,
that-
you managed
moly.
to dodge thanks to his spell guard shield. He is able to hide behind it as this treated shield absorbs some of the fire. As soon as he does that, the chaotic nature, having been wounded, he starts to shift, and his body starts shifting, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, jeez.
9. And all of a sudden, you see Orpheus rise into the air about 15 feet as he levitates suddenly. You see this, I believe it's 15 feet in the air, as you see this cloud matter beneath his feet. Okay. Lumi, you're up.
Lumi is going to fly back towards Ganji, and she's going to be 60 feet above Ganji.
Okay.
So if you can move her to Ganji, essentially on top of her head. And that's her turn.
Okay.
So he's now out of reach, basically, of me.
Hold on, I just want to make sure. 20 feet.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
20
The old
feet.
speedball move.
He's 20 feet in the air?
20 feet in the air.
What would it take for me to run up, grab Avantris, and chuck him at Orpheus?
Make an athletics check.
I'm very willing if it helps.
Would you have turned back and said, how strong are you?
Sure.
And he
That-
says, "Wee, isn't limbo so much more fun than the material plane?"
I'm coming for you, lad! 1, 2, 3, and I want to reach,
Okay.
just literally grab him by the waist and just chuck him up.
And chuck him up. Okay.
Oh boy. Athletics, you said?
Yep.
22.
22. So you grab Vandris and you chuck him into the air. Vandris, just for the sake of this, could you please use your reaction
I was going to hope to try to grapple him unless you had something in mind.
I want to make you make an acrobatics check to see like if you can grab something on him, just so you can hang there.
I got a natural 20, which gives me 29 for dexterity.
Yes!
Okay, because you got a 29 for that, you manage to throws you into the air, and you grab onto his fleshy coat now, and you actually start to pull him down to the ground. You are about like 5 feet off the air.
Off the ground?
Off the ground, yeah. As you're hanging there, Varys' legs are dangling.
I guess that's like, so I'm going to take 1 step up just so I'm in range, and that was my action probably.
Yep.
Do I still have a bonus action to check a pop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I would like to do a greater healing potion.
Greater healing, 44 plus 4.
Vandris,
Okay.
because
Mark
you
that.
entered his blazing shield again, you take 7 points of fire damage when you grab
Ah. Got it.
it. And his hand crackles with energy and he shoots one of his bolts at you. And he says, "Nice idea, Sneaky." And that is going to hit, dealing 16 points of, let me see which kind of damage it is. At you, that is going to be cold damage. Turns into an icy blast.
I'll show you. 12 damage, you said? How much?
13.
13. Okay.
Okay.
Definitely bloody.
Lumi. Or no,
What?
that is...
The little monsters.
Oh, no. This is the... Little Monsters after that.
Just the one who's on me.
But actually, before that, you start to feel the gravity shift again. You're all pulled up into the room, and the room
Except for Vandris, who's in the air.
swirls around. And that is going to be... you feel gravity shift, and you see the floor with the churning earth ground. And actually, I need all of you... I didn't roll fire damage for you. So Sylvie, you take 4 points of fire damage. Vandris, you take 3 points of fire damage. Rodek, you take 2 points of fire damage from the blazing earth. And so you are all now falling back down to the earth floor. And with that, I am going to consult my book.
And I won't look.
These are gone. Ganji is in it. Ganji's in that. And I think Annual might be in this. Nope! Annual, you managed to barely dodge out of the way. I need Ganji to make a dex saving throw.
11.
11. He tries to dodge as he falls into this muck. He starts to feel acid seeping in from the muck, and he is sliding in. He is going to be taking.
Does it look like he's sinking?
He sinks into the mud. He is now restrained, and takes 12 points of acid damage as he's now caught in this mud. As acid is seeping in. And with that, it is... now it's the minion's turn. And this is every third round. And so, Sylvie, one is going to attack you, and that is going to hit. That is going to deal 6 points of piercing damage as it bites into you. Okay, and with that, it's Gandy's turn.
Okay, he is going to... Come on, get off. Sorry, multiple D&Ds beyond. He is going to cast...
This music's epic.
He is... Woo.
Oh, and this is all difficult terrain. So the rumbling of the earth is difficult terrain that isn't the mud.
He is going to use his bonus action to chug a pot.
Okay? He downs one of these healing pots.
So for 10 points of health. And then he is going to use... he's going to yell out in Russian, how's everybody feeling?
How's everybody feeling? Not great!
And he is going to cast...
Avantris screams in the distance.
Remember, he's restrained in mud.
So he can't cast while he's restrained?
So it's if he ends his turn here, he will take more damage from the mud.
So how does he get out of it?
He can make a athletics check or dex check.
Okay, I'll do one of those then.
Athletics.
18.
He managed to burst himself free. He uses his action to rip out and climb out. Can you move him one out of the mud?
Yeah,
He claws out of the mud.
Okay, so he will do that.
He can use a bonus action as well.
He uses bonus action to chug a potion.
Chug a pot. So he drinks his potion. He's healed up a little bit. And after he does that, you see Orpheus is going to say, "Okay, I've had enough of you weirdos," and he is going to ride the chaos with Avantris grabbed on.
Yes! Avantris still screaming.
No! He's going to go to that wall. And Vanish, I need you to make an acrobatics check to see if you can hold on.
Assuming.
18.
18. So he is trying to... You little pesky... And he is riding chaos while levitating, and you are managing to hold on to his cloak. Okay. And that is Angel's turn.
Okay. I'm going to cast Lightning Arrow and make an attack on Orpheus.
Ooh.
New trick.
Nice.
Okay. How does the attack roll work? Is it my weapon's attack roll?
You make an attack. You channel the arrow with electrical energy.
Okay, so then that would be a 23 to hit.
That hits. It fires into him.
Okay, and then I'll roll damage.
Oh, hold on. Okay.
It's 30 damage.
Hey, thank TikToks for the raid.
Thank you for the raid!
Oh, thank you.
You
30
can watch
damage,
us
you
all
said?
die.
Yes. That
You're right in
is-
time for the tower, guys. Welcome aboard.
Okay.
Welcome to
You
Avantris.
see, he still has actually these
This
3
amulet.
copies of him, but you still manage to shoot the real Orpheus. What was that?
Derek, you got this amulet.
Kels. How much damage was that? Sorry.
So it's 30 damage. I started rolling. It's part lightning and
So how much lightning was it? That's important.
I didn't. Hold on. Okay. It was 12.
12 piercing?
Hold on. No, for lightning. I'm trying to think what I had. I had a 6, an 8, and then maybe a 5 for lightning.
A 5 for lightning. Okay, so you see your arrow pierce in, and you see the lightning start to shock all over his body as your charged arrow hits him. Thank you guys so much
Thanks
for
for
the
the
cheers.
football
And
Thank
for
you
the
so much.
raid.
And for the raid. And
For the tower.
you see, however, his fleshy, chaotic body is starting to eat up some of the lightning, and it's not doing as much as you were hoping. And so...
Did you apply 5 or 25?
What was that?
Lightning damage.
Oh, you said 5.
I was counting, so it was...
Oh.
It would have been 25.
25 lightning damage?
Yeah.
And how much piercing damage again? Sorry.
So 5 piercing, 25 lightning, 5 piercing.
Okay. As it absorbs some of the lightning damage, as the arrow sinks into him, he's going to roll for concentration.
And then I'll make a second arrow attack. Or no, wait, that doesn't work if I make the spell, right? That is my attack.
Yeah. And you see that as soon as it hits, he's like, "Ugh!" And you see his eyes kind of roll back a little bit, and the flame sphere around him, Avantris, drops as he loses concentration.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And with that, it is...
Shelby's time.
But he's going to look at Annie and is like, and snaps his finger. Fire comes up. Roll a dex saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Natty 20, 29.
You take 3 points of fire damage.
Hey.
Okay. With that, it is Sylvie's turn.
I'm going to use my bonus action to drink a greater healing potion.
Okay, you chug that pot.
And then I'm going to drop Hex from him.
Okay.
And I am going to use Fly at 4th level.
Okay.
And Lumi being with Ganji to put us both in the air. So we are both flying.
Okay, Ganji and Sylvia are both flying after Lumi touches him, and you are now flying in the air as Orpheus is kind of being dragged along with Avantris here.
And that's what I'm doing.
You gonna stay back here?
Yeah, and I'll move forward my 25 feet towards Orpheus. I'm in the air. I'll take the attack if it wants to attack me in the air.
Okay, yeah, it will make its opportunity attack on you, and that is going to fail. And with that, he is going to... he is going to channel the chaos again as he taps himself, and his body starts gyrating incredibly quick as he casts haste on himself.
Uh-oh.
That can't be good.
Okay.
It's not good.
I don't even know what that does, but it's never good in any game I've ever cast that spell.
As he starts to move very, very quickly, it's very tough to hold on for you, Avantris. What are you doing?
I want to try to stab him.
Okay.
In true Avantris fashion.
I will say you have to make that a disadvantage because your whole. Actually, no, you're right up next to him. We'll say it's even.
Good night, True Strike.
Night, guys.
Good night. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Good to have you back.
Oh wow, that's pretty terrible. I'm going to use one of my lucky counters to try to roll again.
Okay.
That's going to be a 21.
21, as he looks at you and is going to...
We're getting intimate.
Wow. And he's going to look at you and he says, I'm lucky too, Avantris. And as soon as you feel lucky, you feel the luck of chaos actually make you miss yourself.
That's amazing.
I'm so upset. I missed.
Nice try. Now please get off of me. Make an acrobatics check, please.
I yell, I'm not letting go. I got a 14.
A 14, and with that, he manages to knee you in the face, and you fall down as he is very, very quick, and zips away. And
my luck just took a serious turn for the worse.
He lands fine. Is he standing?
he lands fine.
Okay.
He's not that far off, but he once again rises up 20 feet in the air. And now it's his turn. What am I going to do? I have so many options. You know what? I am just going to do this. And he's just going to and he uses haste to cast 3 of his chaotic bolts. 1 down at you, Avantris. And that is going to be, it's going to miss. And we'll give another one to Vandy Poo for good measure. And that is also going to miss. Okay, you're going away, dice.
Is your fly speed the same as your news speed?
And he's going to look at Rodek and say, I see you chasing me, Dwarfy. And that is going to hit.
No, very well.
And that is going to be 16 points of...
No, it's 60 feet.
16 points of
Okay,
acid
you could
damage.
move further.
Yeah, I just didn't want to.
16 points?
16 points of acid damage.
It's not looking good! I'm getting fucked.
And then you start to see the tides of chaos start to shift, and what effect will happen? And as you see, suddenly he's like, and you can see he's trying to get a handle on his chaotic magic as he's wounded now, and he's shifting around, and poof, you see a poof, and then flower petals and butterflies in a 10-foot radius around Orpheus are just dancing and falling about him, these illusory petals and butterflies. And with that...
So he's not flying anymore?
No, he is.
Oh, okay.
He's just surrounded by butterflies.
Got it.
Okay. Lumi's turn.
She's going to continue to stay with Ganji.
Okay. She's flying over Ganji. Ganji's now up in the air flying.
I keep forgetting that Avantris does have Sanctuary on him, by the way. Because it's for a minute, and it's not concentration.
You're right.
It's been like 3 rounds, I think.
Yeah, it hasn't been that many.
Well, I missed both my attacks anyway.
Yeah, I know,
yeah.
but I just wanted to remind you because I'm going to try and focus on it, so I don't want you to think that I'm making shit up.
It's the same number of turns that I've had the heroic potion, so maybe 2 turns.
Okay.
But when Avantris attacks, it goes away,
Sanctuary?
right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe.
I think that's why it's not concentration. I would look into that, but
Yeah, I'm going to look at it right now.
Baloney.
so
Okay.
it might
Well,
be gone.
we'll say either way I missed.
Okay.
Either way I missed.
Yeah.
And with that, it is Rodek's turn. You're up. Difficult terrain.
The
Yeah.
whole thing's difficult.
Yeah, so it's
terrain.
gone.
Yes, the whole floor except for the mud, and the mud just you fall in and you take acid damage. You get your turn.
Bummer.
Well, I don't think I'm getting to you, Avantris, and I'm just gonna start heading back. 1, 2.5 is as far as I can go, and I'm gonna chug. Can I use my action to chug 1 potion, my bonus action to chug another?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna chug potion of
You are just downing these health potions that you
resistance.
have. Oh. Okay. Roll it.
and then a potion of. So what do I roll? So
You roll a d10. Just look it up. You tell me what you get.
Oh.
And welcome, Skynosaur. We're having an epic
Yeah,
boss
welcome.
fight. Welcome.
So
welcome.
it's like a thing. Okay. A 4. I'll
So
look the
you
4
are
up.
chugging a health pot, and you chug your resistant potion,
Yeah.
and you feel resistant to some kind of thing.
Okay.
And
4 is force.
Cool.
and he is going to. What is he going to do
What
here?
was your other potion you chugged?
Health.
Okay, I have to mark it
He
down.
is going to look down at. He's going to look down at Van and say, "Here's one for good measure. I'll get you one of these days." And he sends another chaos bolt down there, and get a natural 1. You really are lucky, aren't you, Avantris? And with that, it is the gravity lifts you up in the air, swirls all the way around, and drops you on the air floor as you all fall down to the near wall where you came in. And so, tornadoes swirl all around you as the wind is howling tremendously. Let's see if it... Nope. Wow, you guys are all really fucking lucky. Let me tell you guys.
We don't really move. Oh, I almost walked right into it.
As you all land, and the wind is howling so much, it is so distracting. Concentration checks made on this floor are at disadvantage.
We are, well, the 2 of us are in the air. So would that have any effect?
I would say that probably if you're able to get probably, we'll say 30 feet up, you're out of it.
Okay, because
Okay.
I was saying that we were 60 feet in the air.
Okay,
'Cause
yeah,
it's
that's
60
fine.
feet
Yeah,
flying
you're
speed, so.
flying up, like basically just at the center of the room. The chaos portal's crackling next to you,
Okay.
and so it's not made an advantage. And so with that, it is the what you call it? As you see, the limbo portal spits out 7 more of these creatures as they all land. Let's see.
It's all here.
Yeah. Boink. 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 I guess you can't go here. Boink, boink.
Does he still have Spirit Guardians?
Yeah.
He should, right?
Let me see how long
It's
it lasts.
It's concentration.
He hasn't taken any. I've been rolling for
Okay.
concentration, but he hasn't taken any damage since the
And
last time.
they're going to all win.
I
And one,
think
one
Spirit
Rodak.
Guardians are 10 minutes.
Boink. And so they would all land past him because he's flying up in the air, so they would not
Yeah,
even.
10 minutes.
So they're all spit out onto the ground, and they're all going to make. We're going to make 2 attacks on Vandris here quickly, and both of those are going to fail. And we're going to do 3 quick attacks on Rodak. 1 hits for sure. The other 2 miss. So that's going to be a nice hot. How much of piercing damage? Ooh, that is only going to be 5 points of piercing damage. And then
Is it just like a normal attack? Like what
It's
I?
fine.
Okay.
fine. And then Annulin, 2 metamorphs on you. 1 is going to fail horribly, but 1 is going to hit you. Sinks its teeth into you, and that is going to be a hot 8 points of piercing damage as it bites you. And with that, Ganji's turn.
Okay, he is going to fly down so that he's within 15 feet of these guys, so that they'd be in range of his for his movement. But he'll still be off the ground just barely, by like 5 feet.
Okay, so he
something. So
flies down to Rodak and gets ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
To help out with those guys. And then he is going to cast Mass Cure Wounds on all of us.
What's the range on that?
60 feet. Or 30-foot sphere. Up to, it's a 60 feet range.
So
30
Sylvie's
foot
up in
sphere.
the air, so she...
It's 60 feet, you said? Or it's 30?
So it says range is 60 feet, and it's a 30-foot area. So he could, I imagine he could then just
30-foot radius?
washing out from a point of your choice. So I want him to make a point in the air where that would work, right? Just a
But
point of your choice.
it's only 30 feet.
If it's only 30 feet, you're 60 feet up in the air.
So hold on. Can I read
But that's
that?
fine. I don't need it to get me. I don't care about me.
Okay.
I care about everybody else.
So can you put it on the ground somewhere, or however you guys want to do it?
So like Lumi's flying 30 feet in the air. Can I cast it on Lumi? Would that hit
It's a
everyone on the
straight.
ground?
It can be anywhere you want.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be just on Lumi. So you point in the air.
Okay. So I just wanted to hit everybody on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So it's a
3
30-foot
feet.
radius, right?
Yes.
So you could probably get me, Annulin,
And Ganji.
and Ganji.
So if it's a 30-foot radius, doesn't mean that.
It's 60 feet across.
So.
Can I read it? Will you let me read
Yeah,
it?
no, by all means. If I'm 60 feet up the air and it's a 60-foot radius.
So it's 30 feet in every direction. So if you're 60 feet in the air...
But then it would be a bubble, so it would miss people. I want to hit people on the ground. That's what's
Yeah,
important.
it
I don't
would
care
miss
about
it.
Okay.
It would miss it.
So
So
I
can-
want to hit everybody on the ground.
Okay, hits. Does that work, Rich?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
hits everyone on the ground, including Ganji. And
Yeah, easily.
a prayer
Easily.
to Bahamut just bathes over the light energy.
Sorry.
It's fine.
God. 14 points of healing.
Oh, wow.
14 points of healing as the
That's
wounds
it.
close up. And
Shitty rolls.
as soon as that happens, Orpheus looks and he's like, "Oh, you can levitate too!" And he's going to fire a chaos bolt at you.
She
And
said so 13 to.
everyone heals 13.
14.
14.
14.
Hey,
And
Pro Gamer. Yeah, we got a new
Pro Gamer.
overlay.
Not me. I'm not within range.
No, you're not.
so Sylvie, that's only going to do
Or
12
you
points
could have put it
of
there, but...
12 points of acid damage to you as it hits you in the air. Okay.
What do I take from falling out of the sky when my concentration breaks?
So your
60 feet.
concentration breaks and you fall out of the sky. So could you
That's
make?
not enough time to hit terminal velocity.
Could you make a dex saving throw for me, please?
7. Dice
1, 2, 3, 4.
All of your d20s were like shit. All of them.
You hit the ground with a loud thud, and you take 19 points of bludgeoning damage as you crash down to the stone floor, as the wind is howling all over you. And with that, it is bullseye, and then we have Vanus. Or no, no, it's Aenon, sorry. Ganji and.
So I'm gonna thanks, Ganji, for the healing, and
You're
I'll
welcome.
fire 2 arrows. What?
Thank you. You're welcome.
That's good. That's really good.
Good.
Anytime, amulet.
We're gonna have to talk about that. I'm gonna fire 2 arrows at Orpheus.
Okay.
Owie bone juices, right?
I got a natty 20,
Okay.
and the second one would be a 14, which misses.
14 misses, yes. Yep,
He's still in the air, right?
he's still in there. Suka, yeah.
And
27, which is not ideal.
How many points of damage?
27.
27. Your arrow fires into him. He spits up blood as
And then I'm gonna use my bonus action to drink a potion of greater healing.
Okay.
Or reasonable.
Okay. Sounds good. So, as soon as you do that, he looks at you and says, "Right back at you!" And he fires another one of his chaos bolts, and that is gonna miss. And okay, and with that, it is Sylvie's turn.
Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action to drink another potion.
Okay, you're prone on the ground. You drink a potion.
Oh, I'm prone to
Yeah.
shit. Okay,
60 feet.
I will stand up
Okay, you
with
heave
my
yourself up.
movement. Oh, and I know what that is because of Lumi. And then I'm going to.
How's everybody feeling? Is everybody okay?
No.
I'm doing okay.
Biz screams in the distance.
I don't know what that means. I want your arm.
And then I'm going to just cast Eldritch Blast, thinking
Okay.
that everyone's fine because I don't listen to Rodak.
Okay.
At Orpheus.
I tried.
2 arcs of Eldritch Blast fire at him.
28 and 17.
Okay.
The 17.
Oh, okay, yeah. 17 is not hit. However, you do see that one of the bolts that would have missed him blasts one of his arcane illusions.
12 points of damage.
12 points of damage as it fires in. Okay. As it blasts in, and he is trying to. What is he going to do here? Okay, I think that's good, and so he is going to. What's he going to do? He's going to shoot another blast out of Avantris,
Bring it on.
and that is going to miss.
That's like 5 in a row. Avantris
Okay.
has got somebody looking out for him.
Unbelievable. Okay, and with that, it is Vanish's turn.
Okay, so I believe that there is a card somewhere on that table that says Wand of Magic Missiles.
Yes.
There is.
If I remember correctly, it's 7 charges of Magic Missile,
Yes.
which is 3d4. Well, it's 1d4 plus 1 for each bolt. and 7 charges is 3 bolts per charge, so 21d4 rolls, correct?
Well, it's 1 action per charge. You can't.
Oh shit! I can't unload the whole thing with a shotgun.
No.
Well, then it's a terrible item.
You
and I
can
don't wanna use
increase.
it.
You can increase the spell slot level by 1 for each additional charge you
Oh.
expend.
Okay.
Yes.
So you could.
So you could go up to a level 5 based on our level, right? Or could he cast higher than that? Because
I think you can cast just a bunch of bolts, right?
What's the level? Could you make it like a level 9 arcane?
well, you
that
can
was
make it a
level
7th
7.
level. So that's what I'm
Level
looking
7
at.
is what I would hope for.
Yeah, 7th level, you can do that.
So-
Yeah, so it's 7 times 3.
So it's.
Oh,
so
no.
Each level is.
So it's 1 more dart. So it starts off with 3 and then 6 more darts.
So 9.
Okay, so
9
nine
d4.
total.
as OP as I thought it was.
9d4 plus 9.
9d4 plus 9.
Yes.
So I'd like to use my bonus action to grab the wand
Okay.
from my coat. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've got
You have it.
one hand with the one hand with the wand, and then I say something along the lines of letting everybody know that I'm using my wand to shoot Orpheus in the face. So I'm just gonna roll a bunch of these d4,
Yep.
and then I will tell you how much damage I did. So I'm rolling 9 of these.
Oh, it's his turn next.
$32 points of damage.
Oh my gosh. Your magic missile blasts past his 2 remaining arcane copies, and they slam into his all of the you're not very creative with names, are you? And deal 32 fucking points.
And then I have to roll a d20.
Yep.
And if I roll a 1, the wand crumbles into ash and is destroyed.
Yep.
Okay.
Truth.
I got a 12.
Okay, you're fine.
Take that, bastard!
I see you down there, and with that, he is going to land from his levitate. But then he's going to say, "Ooh, I think I have one more," and he coasts away from you. Can you just do 40 feet away from Avantris, please, Rich?
What is this?
40 feet away from Avantris. He's
This
using,
way?
Yeah. He's using the rest of his.
Richie, if you say.
It's almost my turn. It's
No,
almost
no,
my
no, you have to read it.
I will.
Okay, alright.
On my turn, I will.
Okay.
Without repeating it. Come on, Billy.
Yeah. See, it's not my turn yet.
I'm just making sure he saw it.
Oh, I saw it.
So it's his turn. So, oh, I'm very fast. So, I mean, no, it's, he is going to channel a spell. He's going to move his arms in a motion, and a circle, a shield, bubble of flame is going to engulf him. This is different than what he had previously. He casts Fire Shield on himself as a blazing cocoon of fire. Okay. That's all I'm doing. You can go. And that is Lumi's turn.
Lumi is just gonna stay by Ganji.
Okay. Okay, Rhoda.
Okay, so I'm standing there with my sword, and I turn to Ganji, who's like, is he still flying in the air?
No,
No,
he's-
my concentration lost, but he was only 5 feet.
He was only
above
5
us,
feet, so he's fine.
Oh. Genji, a memory just struck me. Have I ever told you about the time that I grasped my long hammer in my sweaty palms and... Well, I'll tell you later. I'm gonna come in and attack.
We're easily manipulatable.
I will do anything for some.
Ganji says, "Oh, Rodek, I don't think now is the time."
That was great.
Pete Ganji.
That was
Pete
perfect.
Ganji.
That's exactly what he would say. That hits. Bonus action for number 2. Okay, they all hit. They are all dead.
Okay. So you just cleave the shit out of these guys, and meanwhile, he said, and so he sees Orpheus sees the. He is able to use it. So he sees the blazing, the angelic figure around Ganji. He says, I don't think so. And he's going to use his Chaos Bolt on Ganji.
Thanks for the sub, by the way, Mr.
And that is going to fail. He once again hides behind his shield and blocks it. And so with that, gravity lifts up into the air, swirls all the way around, and you are falling too.
So Ganji still hasn't taken damage since he cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay. So you all fall, and you see
he has, but I've been rolling.
the room flips totally upside down. And actually, hold on. I forgot to roll on my Wild Magic Surge. So as soon as Orpheus did his action, he's trying to control his energy, and as you damage him more, it's becoming more difficult. And he is going to, as soon as he clutches his forehead, as soon as he lands from the levitation and rode the chaos off, and you see a hideous frog eye open up on his forehead, blinking all around, looking everywhere. It's like, oh god, maybe Limbo isn't so great. And so then gravity shifts, and you see the room shift exactly upside down. The portal to Limbo. It's radiating chaotic elemental energy blasting out of it, and you fall down. And
well,
starting to get the idea that Orpheus doesn't know what he's doing.
this is not good.
wow, Annulin.
That's a big fucking square.
What if we lose half the party and they just go off into limbo?
You see the metamorphs manage to slide their way off. They're not affected, but
Well, but Ganji's not in it.
he's not, right?
No.
No, he's not in there. So
Right on the edge. Thank
you all fall down. The chaotic crackling energy of Limbo is surging all around you, and Annulin, you are falling directly into the portal, but it is blasting out with energy. So much is coming out, you're not actually able to fall through, but you are blasted by the pure raw energy of Limbo. I need you to make a con saving throw.
Uh-oh.
I got a 15.
15. You are barely managed to dodge being taken the full brunt, tumbling into the swirling vortex of elemental chaos. Move her back next to Sylvie. You manage to roll out. You do get singed. You do take half of this, which is really garbage. You take half of 9 points of lightning damage as lightning kind of shocks you, and you kind of feel.
5 or 4. You round up or down. Okay.
Down, you round down. And you get shocked by lightning, and you feel as if some horrific element of Limbo tried to find its way onto you, and you manage to resist it. As you manage to stand next to it. And so with that, it is. It is the Metamorph's turn. So they are just slithering around. One's going to come around and look around to Sylvie. And that's going to hit. One is going to hit Sylvie. Another one's going to miss. One is going to bite in for a total of 6 points of piercing damage. Then 2 are attacking Avantris.
What about this guy?
He's dead.
This guy?
Oh.
No, he's been alive.
He's been alive, yeah.
He's been alive. He's running an Annulin.
So there are only 2 on Sylvie.
These 2 are on Avantris.
Yeah, one of them missed.
Both of the one on Avantris miss.
Thank
Annulin,
God.
you're being attacked. That is going to barely hit as it sinks its teeth into you. That is going to be 6 points of piercing damage as the Metamorph is biting you with his froggy sharp teeth. And it's because frogs don't have teeth. And with that, it is Ganji's turn.
Ganji is going to. Well, thank you for making my spiritual armor around me completely useless. And I will head the other direction where I can help. And he's going
I
to
didn't
head
know you
down
were
this
so
way.
good at Russian accents.
I am not.
That is perfect.
Thank you. From here, my options are limited. Does anyone need help?
Me!
And is still screaming in the distance.
Well, I just left you. You were talking about your chef. Does anyone else need help?
I tried.
No,
Why is the same person playing both healers?
He'll cast a healing word at first level on Rodak.
I'm
Okay.
not quite bloody, but I'm just.
You say a prayer to Bahamut as platinum light shines down.
Or you want to touch? You would use healing.
No, I'm going to use healing word.
Okay. Well, then you still get your action, right?
7 points of healing.
Your Bahamut heals some of your wounds, Rodak.
So yeah, that's the one thing that he does, and then the next thing that he does is he is going to take the dodge action.
Okay, so you dodge and you steal yourself, and you cast the spell, and as Ganji realizes that magic is really unstable on this floor, and it starts crackling all around him. I need Ganji to roll D20.
Oh boy. Natural 20, Pickle Rick?
Hey!
Ganji feels.
I don't know what this means. I'm so scared.
Ganji feels as if something washes over him. And I need you to make an intelligence check.
8.
Ganji feels as if there is some sort of magic on him that's been imbued in him, as if there's some sort of reincarnation magic if he happened to die.
Oh!
What?
If I lick Ganji, do I get that?
You can certainly try.
I'm not willing to risk it. I have to keep attacking.
Thank you, natural 20!
Wow. Wow.
Wait, reincarnation or resurrection? What do you know the difference?
Some sort of magic.
Well, one's very holy, one's very... Okay, got it.
Holy crap!
What a time to
Yeah.
natty 20.
Okay. And with that, he says, "That's not fair. That's my trick." And he is, Orpheus is going to. Wait, have I not used anything?
Wow.
That might be the single greatest natural 20 that any of us have ever rolled in the last 2.5 years.
Probably. What are the odds?
He is going to just shoot his Chaos Bolt, and that's finally gonna fucking hit Ganji.
He's taking the dodge action.
Fuck! Fuck!
No.
Fuck!
Well, I don't think you're hitting me today.
Orpheus's form is swirling around. And
Thanks for stopping by, Chris.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. And glad you're enjoying.
Yeah, really
okay.
appreciate it.
Bahamut be praised. You
Okay,
shall
now
not
it's
damage
Annual's
this
turn.
dragonborn.
Okay,
Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just gonna fire 2 more arrows at Orpheus.
Okay, you fire in.
Literally, my heart is about to burst from my chest.
Thanks for the follow, Lone Guard. We're
Thank
not getting
you.
good groups when people follow.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, we
So
will.
I got a
Who's the
20 and
first one?
29 to hit.
20 and 29 to hit. Okay, that hits. Wait, hold on.
Hold
Yep.
up.
Both hit. And you see the mirror image start to dissipate because I don't feel like tracking it. It was a stupid idea to give him that. That's a present. That's a present from the DM.
Thank you, honest DM.
Thank you, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know what I was thinking.
About it 2 seconds after you mentioned he cast it.
I got 18 and 13.
I was rolling and I kept rolling low enough where it was still hitting. What was that? 18 and 13. 18 and 13 as both arrows fly in, so that is a 31 points of damage.
And then I will move so away from the center towards the wall, and I'll just take a opportunity. He gets a
Okay.
All the way back.
He's going to miss his bite.
Yeah, to the wall.
Um,
Whoa.
And he's going to look at you. He needs a real concentration. So what is that? How does that work?
What?
I pass. So he keeps his concentration as you fire in on his haste. He's still going very, very quick. And with that, he is still going to use a legendary action, probably. No, he's not. Yes. So he's going to be like, okay, that hurt, and he starts. Actually, no. He's going to start shifting, and his form shifts again, and he becomes chaotic and gyrating, and it is disadvantage on him until his next turn.
Oh.
And I'm gonna taunt him and say, I'm sure we can find a cream for that thing on your head. Don't worry.
Hey!
Got him!
He looks at you and says, now that is just uncalled for. I know I'm trying to destroy the world, but that's just me. Sylvie, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action to chug a healing potion.
Okay.
A greater healing potion.
Okay. You chug that potion, and you feel its alchemical powers start to heal you.
And then I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast on him at disadvantage.
Disadvantage, you strike.
First one's going to miss. And the second one is going to be a 16.
16 is also going to miss. And he's actually going harder. He's harder to hit with his haste and his shifting form. He is very, very dodgy. He's protecting himself. As both of your Eldritch Blasts veer off with a chaotic nature. And you just use cantrips, so no spells. And you can use a spell. You can use a spell. Avantris, you're up.
Okay, is he up in the air, like out of range of a melee attack?
No, he landed, remember?
I did not, but now I do. I am going to use my bonus action to dash at him and take 2 attacks of opportunity.
Okay. These the metamorphs lunge after you, and one is going to hit, dealing a nice hot 10 points of piercing damage. As it gets a big crunch into you.
Okay, and then I'm going to stab Orpheus in the face. Actually, I'm going to aim for his third eye.
Hey.
That's a 27.
27, yeah, that'll hit.
Were you disadvantaged? Were you disadvantaged?
Nope, let me roll the other.
And you don't get sneak attack damage.
Yes, I do. I'm a swashbuckler. Oh, son of a...
Sorry.
Teacher, you forgot to assign homework.
It's gotta be, you know.
I know.
17.
17, he just dodges out of the way of that.
Neat.
Okay. And he says, oh, you're having trouble hitting me. Sorry about that. And it's his turn. He's going to... he is going to look at you. And as... Oh, you missed. So, yes, you don't. He is going to... I'll spread out. He's going to...
He sounds disappointed.
He's just going to hurl 3 bolts and say, I'm getting tired of this. Like, why aren't you all dying? Why aren't you even going down? And so he's going to shoot one at you, Avantris. And it's going to miss horribly. Okay, there's one more! Can you see the one?
Yep.
And, why don't 3 times the charm? And he is going to chuck another one at you. As he's getting frustrated. And that is going to hit.
I'm going to expend a lucky point, and I'm going to roll a die to see if I can make him miss.
Okay.
I got a 5, so you get to use my 5.
He freezes his what? As the bolt careens off, smashes into the wall, and he says, "Stop being so lucky. That's my thing." And he misses, and that is his fucking turn. Yeah. Okay.
I'm a pretty good tank. What can I say?
Lumi is just
She's
gonna
still gonna.
fly around
She's
road.
technically she's with Ganji.
Okay, she's just flying.
We'll just leave.
Rhoda, you're up.
Well, across the room.
What are you resistant to, by the way?
Force.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job, Rich.
So normally they're great resistance, but 1.5, 2, 3. I'm gonna dash. Fuck it. So 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 6, 9, 10.
Before you did that, Rodak.
Oh, and can I look down? Oh yeah. Just real quick, I don't know if it matters. While I'm passing this, I want to look down into the portal and just kind of see what I can see.
So as the portal is pouring out elemental energy, you can't even really get close to the actual portal where Limbo is. It's directly next to you, and you can hear as dozens and dozens and dozens of slot are pouring up. And although it's on the ground and it's below you, they're pouring upwards into this tunnel, and you can kind of see now that you're close that they're riding this chaos that's shooting up out of your sight deep into this tunnel.
So it looks like there's a portal going into a tunnel, and the slot are coming from the chaos portal.
Just being shot up, basically being fired up into the mountain.
Well, Ratley's probably dead.
Guess we'll have to leave that for now.
Put that on hold.
Okay.
Put it in the parking lot, and then I will use my bonus action to. I think I'm going to chug that pot of heroism.
Okay. You chug the pot of heroism as.
How long does it last?
It lasts for a minute.
Okay.
Right? Hour? Maybe an hour. Actually, an hour. Look it up.
Okay,
It's right. I gave it to you.
No,
And-
hold on, I'll look. I have it up.
And so, Rhoda, as you're running into him, towards him, not Avantris, Orpheus is like, and you hear the crackling again, and his hand cracks, and no, and then I'm going to.
It's an hour.
Right, it is. That's why I thought that the bless lasted an hour, because the bless lasts for the duration of the potion, not the duration of normal bless spell.
Right.
Yes.
That's why I was confused. Okay. So I'm going to stop
Yes, it says
tracking
for
number
the
of
same
turns.
duration you are under the effect of the bless spell. So that's for
Right,
an hour.
I thought that's what I
you're
read,
blessed.
but then I trusted Misaki. He led me astray.
Okay,
Damn
so
it, Misaki.
as his hand is crackling, Rhoda, as you know what, we may want to turn back because this is going to affect you.
Okay.
His energy is crackling, and Rhoda, you get blasted with a blast of energy, and all of a sudden, it's like you were sprinkled with pixie dust and you can fly.
What's my flight speed? Is it as if
What
I
does
fly?
fly give you?
60.
60. You have 60 flight speed.
No way.
Great, I made a flying dwarf!
So when does that happen?
Right after he went, so it was...
Right before you did
can
your
So
thing.
fly.
I'm over here.
Yep.
Oh baby! I am going to lift into the air, and do I kind of intuitively know how to
Yeah,
fly?
you've flown before.
This is just what I needed, thank you. And then I
You're
jump
welcome
up.
for the practice.
Can I'm just gonna move this so that I can kind of get
Yeah.
so. 1.5, 3, 6, 7, 8. I just want to go straight for him.
Okay, you fly directly at him.
Just bum rush him. Ah! And then I want to come in for.
I see that I'm probably fucking myself here.
I want to come in for an attack.
Okay.
That is a 21, and I would like to make it a tripping attack.
Okay. And
So make a strength saving throw.
okay.
He's not flying, is he?
No, he's not.
Okay.
So you knock him down. How much damage is that?
Oh. What?
And
What?
I totally forgot about our level. I've only been adding +9 to all of my attacks this time.
Rhoda,
+11.
when your sword swings in, the fire shield you slice through and deals 3 points of fire damage to you.
Okay, so 9,
God,
10,
I'm
11,
stupid.
12, 13, 14, 15 damage.
15 damage. And when I got to roll for concentration again?
10 or half the
Concentration
damage.
is, so basically,
Whichever one
it's
is
just, you hit a
highest.
10 unless the damage is over 20.
No, unless the damage is over 10. Or,
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
unless half
He
the damage
passes
is over 10.
concentration. How much damage was that again, Roddick? Sorry.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, or 15 damage, sorry.
Okay. Your sword swings and he gets finally another rank of wounds.
Okay.
As the necrotic wound from your sword spreads into him.
So he has to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. And this is not against magic. He hits a natural 20 plus whatever.
Rats.
I can be pretty strong.
I will come in again.
Okay.
So that's 1. I got a 29.
Okay. Wow.
No, a 30. No, you're 10. Plus
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage.
Once again, you take some more fire damage. You take 8 points of fire damage as each of your slices basically slicing.
So what was the first one?
3.
Okay, so 3, then what?
3 and then 7. So 10 total.
Okay.
And how much damage did you just do there, Rich? Sorry.
I did 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage.
Is he getting more wounds?
So that's 2 wounds.
Okay.
No, only once per turn.
Yeah, only once per turn. So the wound is as you slice in, and fire is bathing you. He is going.
And so I will still, just to kind of be on, I'll use my bonus action to chug that bless pot.
Okay.
So it's still active.
So as soon as that happens, he's reached the point where and you actually start to see light beneath his flesh as it starts to bubble up chaotically as energy, and chaos energy bursts out of him in 30 feet range.
So it gets
everyone there.
Everyone
there needs to make a con saving throw.
Is this against magic?
We'll say it's a magical effect. It's not a spell, but it's a magical effect.
I got a 5.
I got a 24.
Goodbye, everyone.
22.
I got a 9. At advantage. Oh, and this includes Ganji?
Yes.
He'll probably pass, so.
That's what I'm guessing.
So does this count as getting hit with an attack?
Ganji passes. What do you get? Sorry. What was that?
I rolled a 5, but I was asking if this counts as getting hit with an attack.
No.
Okay.
So you fail. Ganji succeeds.
I failed.
What did you get, Roderick?
22.
22. So both of you pass. The rest of you. Oh wow, we're already at the end.
So if it's for evasion, it doesn't need to be an attack, though. It's any source of damage, right?
No, but evasion is only for dex checks.
It's a con saving throw.
I was wondering if I could uncanny dodge the potential damage, but it doesn't sound like I'm able to. It's
you can't uncanny dodge.
It says when an attack is made against you, basically. When you take damage from an attack.
Oh.
15 points of, and we'll just do roll run for the whole kit and caboodle. 15 points of acid damage as you see Orpheus is screaming as the acid is also eating his flesh away as it blasts out and hits all of you. So all of you, everyone that dodged, you managed to resist all of it.
Can I use my reaction to speak to him?
Sure.
Can I go ahead.
I'm unconscious.
You're unconscious?
I'm not down.
Holy shit. So
that last turn where I
literally not just
disadvantage screwed up all of my planning. I was trying to time it so I could take a potion. It went all wrong.
Did I literally not just ask if anybody needed healing?
I've been screaming in the distance for 12 rounds.
Not so smug now.
From the time that he saw Orpheus, he's been screaming.
So I look down and I look at Orpheus and I say, "Look what you're doing to yourself. Is this worth it?"
Yes. Yes, it is. Don't you see this? It's beautiful.
Okay, so that's what I say, and then I'm looking at Avantris. And so I take half of that?
No, you don't take anything.
Oh.
Woo. You don't take anything.
Whose turn is that?
So that was legendary action. That's all of his legendary actions. So it is now.
A little monster.
It is gravity.
Oh, Lumi. Yeah, Lumi's gonna
no,
go.
Lumi went before Rhoda.
Oh,
Lumi you said was with Ganji.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay, well, she still is with Ganji.
And you can basically control her as like a bonus action with whatever and just use her.
Well, if I use my action,
yeah.
She essentially, if I don't move, she can move.
Okay,
and use
got it.
So.
As the gravity shifts and you fall onto the water side. And so, these are the last bits here that you have. Actually, I need to get my book here. Let's see. This zoopity boops. Wow, Sylvie barely fucking misses that as this guy gets out of the way.
So do I have to maintain concentration on the fly?
No. Nope. Nope. These guys
this way. He's
And
here.
it's for 10 minutes, so.
And you see these whirlpools. There is a dense fog all around. All attacks on this floor are made at disadvantage.
All attacks.
All attacks.
But you were flying, so you're not on the
You
floor.
can get... Oh, well, he's in melee.
What?
You're melee. You can't fly above.
Can I fly? Can I be above him and like attack down? It's a 5 foot.
It's a heavy fall.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a fall.
It's a fall.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a heavy fall.
Yeah, I was thinking it was like what?
Yeah.
So it's
That's what I
everywhere,
thought.
not just within the squares.
Correct. Those are whirlpools that you could have fallen into.
Oh, I see.
And okay, with that is they're monsters. So 3 are going. One's going to attack Annulin. That one's going to run at Annulin and make an attack.
This guy 5.
Yep, he's going to miss. 2 on Sylvie. 14 doesn't hit, right? No.
14 does hit.
Oh, 14 does hit. Okay, so 1 is going to hit. That is going to be a nice hot 5 points of piercing damage as it sinks into you. And those 2 are going to just move 30 feet towards Ganji Rich in the top corner there. Can they move 30 feet?
So
one can get him. So he's going to make an attack. And that is
And so since he moved into that range, he's going to take...
He's just going to get disintegrated. Both of them are just going to disintegrate. Both are just, and then they're desperately
So
trying
he's
to...
maintained concentration this whole time.
Yeah, no, Ganji's great. Sylvie not
Holy
is...
shit,
I'm
Ganji's
fucking
killing
every
it.
Sylvie thing up. I
Okay.
can possibly fuck up.
With that, it is Ganji's turn.
He is going to look over at Avantris, and he is going to cast... hold on, sorry. I closed my known spells. To see what this does really quickly. Okay, he is going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level. So
It's
that'll be
2d6.
2d.
Never didn't have it.
2d8 plus 4.
Nice. You're above average. Sure.
13 health to Avantris.
13 health advantage. You kneel down, Ganji, and you place your claw onto Vanders' shoulder,
Where do you want to
channeling the power of Bahamut. You come
Basically,
to
right
as you fall, as you come forth from your
Actually, no,
consciousness.
right
Your
here.
wounds closing up.
Because he's got the scroll around him, so it's a little obvious.
Okay, and with that, he can't take any legendary actions. Annulin, you're up.
Okay, so I would like to reach into my bag and pull out the sending stone,
Okay.
our roughy tackies, and Radley, danger's coming, you have to defend yourselves. And
Okay.
put it back in my bag.
You send off that message.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to do this, but I was thinking about Ganji because his turn was next. When that one hit me, can I use my reaction to use my Misty Step?
Yeah.
And I want to.
Misty
I want him
escape.
to come right here.
Misty escape.
Yeah,
You
Misty
blink
escape.
over the whirlpool onto the side that Orpheus is on.
Sorry, thank you.
Okay, and you send that to as a bonus action to Ratley. What are you doing for your action?
For action, would I be able to see the two things in front of me?
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, you have like 3.
Oh yeah. They're obscured, but it's just you're able to see it, but it's just these shapes through the fog. So it's difficult to get a beat on them.
Okay, cool. I would make my attacks on them, one to each.
Got it.
So the one directly in front of me, that will be a 26 to hit.
26 to hit. Okay, that'll hit. That dies instantly.
Keep reading, we don't have to roll damage. Second one, it would be a 13.
13. That barely hit. You shoot it right in the face, and both are
These two, the far ones, right?
Oh, the far ones.
And I'll just shout out, where are you guys?
Follow my voice.
Pretty spooky, isn't it? Sylvie, you're up.
I am going to use something I've never used before, and I'm going to cast Fade Presence on Orpheus. He needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Is this magic?
It is. Well, it's your patron bestows upon you the ability to project a gun. So I'm assuming that it's magic.
What's the range on it?
A 10-foot cube, and I choose who it's affected, who's affecting it.
Con or Wiz?
Wiz.
15.
19 is what he'd have to beat. So
Okay.
he is frightened, right? While I'm in
Frightened
his
or
line
charmed?
of sight, he's
frightened.
disadvantage, or everybody has advantage on attacks against him.
So, as an enormous, radiating, blazing Fey woman, this pink light radiates, and he sees it, and he's horrified for a moment, but he channels his legendary reaction.
That's
and
the third one.
Did he?
Yeah, he did one for Ganji. He
Oh.
did. What was the other one he did? And he just did one for Sylvie.
No, just those two. I think he's one more.
I could have sworn he did a third.
I don't think he did, but
I think it's a second.
Certainly.
Okay.
It's a second, but he's down to one. We'll say I'll let you know.
Counterspell failed.
Yeah.
Ganji, he did for the what?
To attack banners. They're the same one.
Okay.
It was the Sanctuary.
Got it.
He beat Sanctuary of Ganji in order to attack banners. And so,
Blam Squad same too. Okay.
yeah, okay. With that,
Trust it.
he...
You're the DM, so it doesn't really matter what I say.
Sylvie, okay, banners, you're up.
I'd like to use
oh,
that.
but sorry, that was just my action.
Oh, sorry.
As my bonus action, because that's not considered a spell, so I should still be able to use one of my spells.
Yep.
So looking at Avantris, still like this mix of like terrifying fey magic, like Sylvie's voice kind of like muddled and creepy. She is going to cast Healing Word on you.
I'm ready, baby!
What are you casting?
Healing Word. It's not that much, so don't get all excited.
Hey, it's all good. I'm gonna be back.
It's definitely not that much. 5 points of health. And like in almost a warbling voice, she says, I will have that arm, but only because you worked for it, and so did I. It's like she's like channeling this terrifying magic that is not affecting Orpheus, but it's still happening. regardless.
You're a creepy one, aren't you? I think she's more evil than I am. And you are healed tremendously as you feel Lumi's small hand touch you.
Oh no, there's Healing Word. So
Healing Word. Oh, you talk it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's in the bonus action.
Okay, Vantage, you're up.
Half my movement to stand up.
Okay.
1 bonus action to chug a greater potion of healing.
Okay. You chug
And
that
then I would like to stab Orpheus in the face.
Okay.
I healed for 12
Okay.
off of
The
this bad
alchemical
winter.
Nature of this potion heals you up.
I'm basically back to full health after 5 hit point healing, so I'm ready to keep attacking.
Nice.
We're still disadvantaged, right?
Yes, all attacks are disadvantage in this fall.
These days, Rodek, one of these days. Sorry, Morgan. $13 plus 9 is 22.
22 hits.
So no sneak attack, remember. Sorry to be that guy.
Damn it. Insult my little thing here.
So, for full disclosure, he pointed at you and said, but I'm lucky, and you kind of feel the kind of binding chance magic of chaos tries to stay your blade, and it fails, and you still stab him.
I scored a whole 9 points of damage because I don't have sneak attack.
Okay. And he keeps concentration as Venom's spine does manage to catch him in the gut, and he is, God.
And then I'd like to use my fancy footwork to back up five squares.
Okay.
Wait, is this Orpheus' turn?
Yeah.
He has to roll against
Five
Ganji's Spirit Guardians.
Spirit
And he
Guardian.
also takes wounds damage on stat.
Yeah.
Rodek, 5 squares.
And it's
5 squares. I think I said 5
Oh,
feet.
sorry, no. Only 3
fucking
because I just
kidding
have
me?
my movement. Half my
Wisdom
movement.
saving throw?
Yeah.
He fails.
Okay. So he is going to take 3d8.
3d8. Okay, I'm going to roll this with 1 rank of wounds.
Oh, yeah, just 1. 1d4.
So I'm going
And then a con save.
And he's going to take 14 radiant damage.
14 on the con save, right?
He fails, so
Okay.
he still has 1 stat.
Okay. How much radiant damage?
Oh my god, I just re-rolled this. Or I just rolled these
These
around.
are
Remember what I
14.
said? Did I say 14?
Right? Yeah.
Right?
Right?
14.
14? Blam Squad?
Anybody
You paying
remember?
attention? What did I say? I think it was 14. It was 6, 5, and then something.
Okay. He's
yeah.
blazing in this light.
Yeah, 6, 5, and 3, so it was 14.
And with that,
Thanks, Loon Guard.
thank you.
Thank you.
He says, well, it's not nice to gang up on somebody like this. And he's going to snap his fingers and a massive cloud of gyrating, chaotic-looking smoke bursts out in a 20-foot radius around, where is he?
He's here.
It's going to be basically
20-foot radius?
Rodak. Yeah.
All of us in this
All of you.
area.
All of you. As this, it bursts you, and it actually smells initially kind of fragrant, like you're walking into Lush. And it says, "Don't you like that? It's my special brand." And then you start to feel the horrific poisonous nature of this, and everyone make a con save anything that was in that because it's a
It's
brand.
poison?
Is it magic?
Oh, hold on. It is.
It's poison.
It's poison and magic.
Me too.
Nope, not you, but not you anymore.
Con saving throw?
Okay. And does Ganji roll anything additional because of his shield?
He's advantage.
Oh, okay.
He's advantage on all magic.
So.
13.
Fail.
Okay.
23?
So, and it's con.
Passes. Yep.
10 for Ganji.
10 for Gandy, that fails.
Okay.
With advantage?
That was with advantage. And then it was 21 for Sylvie.
Okay. Sylvie, you pass. Hold on. Okay. So, people that failed, so the DC was 18. The people that fail are going to take full. The people that succeed take half of this.
So I take a quarter, right?
Yes. Oh, come on. 10. $20 points of poison damage as you feel, even though you're trying to hold your breath, it is still seeping into your skin.
That's not something I can uncanny dodge, is it?
No. Okay, and it says, don't bother holding your breath. It'll do no good. And he is then going to, I think that's all he can do on it. And then he's actually going to channel some, and that, making that a bonus action. And he is then going to just, he's just going to fire out some Chaos Bolts here. One on Avantris. That's going to hit. That is going to...
That I can uncanny dodge.
Yes. That is going to be 15 points of... what is that? 15 points of acid damage. And Rodak. That is going to hit. You take... Oh, wow. 18 points of acid damage. Wow, I'm doing one of those. 18 points. Ganji here is going to hit. 24. That, Ganji, you're going to take 12 points. Oh, wait, 15 points. 15 points of what kind of damage? I don't know if it matters. It does matter, actually. Acid damage again. Okay, a lot of ones. A lot of ones, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and you can see that he's just whipping out all of his chaotic energy as he's trying to channel it as this heavy cloud sits on top of you and then kind of starts moving away 5 feet and out of range of you. And so...
Disadvantage?
What was that?
The cloud?
The cloud is out of your... and it's moving forward, rolling along.
So we're still disadvantaged, that's the fog, not the
Yes,
cloud.
the fog. The cloud, the stink cloud. Okay, and that is Orpheus' turn.
Who's next?
Oh, sorry. Lumi.
She is going to stay where she's at.
Okay. Lumi? Okay, Rodek, you're up.
I am going to attack him once. How's he looking, by the way?
He's looking wounded, but...
That is a 20. I'm going to make it a... I didn't roll menacing or tripping attack damage last time, so can I roll that this time? Or
What was that?
I just forgot to roll it this time.
Yeah, sure.
So he takes another stack of wounds. So I hit him... or 20. It's a 20.
20.
So he's making a strength saving throw.
It hits. Okay. He's actually going to... He bends luck at you, and forcing you to miss as your sword misses. You do 2 more sorcerer points.
Okay. So then I didn't make it a trip.
Nope.
I will attack again.
Try harder, dwarf.
24.
24 will hit.
Okay. So I'm not going to make that a trip attack.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna. So I'll just do damage. 8. 14 damage.
14 damage. Your axe slams into him, and I'm just gonna roll my con saving throw real quick.
Oh, hold on. I'm disadvantaged. No, I miss. Sorry.
You miss?
Or yeah.
Okay. You miss both times. In this dense fog, it makes it very difficult to see. And with that, there's another shift in gravity as you're all lifted up into the air, and you slam back down on back down onto the floor as you all fall back down. I don't know if Sylvie barely missing the Afrida there, and then where is the egg? Zaki's egg, and then boink, and then boink. Okay. You are all in the corner there, and with that, it is
Minions.
Yeah,
Or later, actually.
After you did that before, we'll just say, he says, "Oh, okay, I'm really tired of this," and he rides the chaos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and because he's hasted.
But he would get an attack of opportunity,
Nope.
right?
This doesn't makes him dodge it.
I'm over here now, by the way, and
Is that a spell that he's doing?
it's a legendary action.
Oh, okay.
It's a legendary action. He's right. It's 4, but because he's hasted, he uses his movement without taking an opportunity attack. And with that, it is the Metamorph's turn. And has it been 3 turns since More spawned? Yes, I think so. So once again, more Metamorphs swarm out of the portal. And
Real quick, the one that's in front of me, did that one die, didn't it?
There
No, it's just the 2 that
there were
were
3 here, and then just one would
You
have.
killed 2 of them.
Yeah.
But he's been here the whole time.
Oh, I guess I didn't see there was a second one in front of me.
Well, there was only 1 in front of you at the time. There was 1 here, and then 2 guys here. And you shot 2 arrows.
So
at
any
these
that are
guys.
near Danji need to
Oh, I was trying to shoot the one that was in
make
front of
their
me.
save.
I rolled disadvantage on it.
Because
So-
I rolled.
You're disadvantaged on all
I've
of them.
been rolling against the
should've been.
damage. So.
These 4 immediately
So, this is-
disintegrate
They would've won.
as I completely forget about that, and also it's my fuck up. As 4 go as soon as they land right next to it, they just shimmer as the platinum light obliterates them. 1 is going to make an attack on Avantris, however, and get a natural 1, as is tradition, and then 2 against Annulin here, and a 2 and a 3. Okay, so they are, and then 1 on Sylvie, and 15.
That
Oh no, it doesn't. Not 15. It's not. It's not. 6. 11
That misses.
misses. So they're snapping, and it's just standard floor now, guys. Okay, and with that, it's Gandy's turn.
He is truthfully now. How is everybody feeling?
Not great at all.
Van just visibly bleeding from the mouth, and
So-
other several places says, "I'm fine, I'm fine."
So he is going to cast mass healing word.
Hold on. before you do that, I want to explain what happened. As soon as Rodek went, we'll say. Or wait, what did you do, Rodek? Did you missed?
I missed a bunch. Oh, and I meant to use my bonus action to use my healing surge. Can I do that?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I forgot to call that. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, first he's going to use his bonus action to do greater healing potion.
Okay. So
that's those are D4s, right? 44.
Yep.
Plus 4. And then he's going to cast Mass Healing Word at 4th level. And so that's going to be... Where are you, Mass Healing Word? I know you're somewhere. Okay, 4th level. So it's going to be 2d4 plus 4 to everybody who's within 60 feet. So I don't... So...
I think it might be just shy of
I think
Annual.
it's probably just shy of Annual, but please let me know. Rodek
Okay.
can count it.
It's gonna be right here. Yeah.
Oh, no, she's in.
What?
I
Is
think
she?
she's in.
So wait, where is it? It's here.
So no, it's I can choose anyone within 60 feet of me.
Oh, and it's from them.
From me.
Oh,
From
you.
Ganji.
Oh, yeah, you're
Ganji.
Ganji. That's right.
Yes, that's why I'm speaking in a Russian accent.
And it's only 30 feet or 60 feet.
60 feet.
Oh no, yeah. You're.
Okay.
I think she's in. Count her straight out and then up.
Yeah. One. So.
So it's 10 points to anyone who's affected
Yeah,
by it.
you're good.
Except for Sylvie, who gets more. Who gets a full 20.
So we get how much? Sorry.
10.
Nice. I'll take it. I'm not bloodied anymore, guys.
So, as soon as that happens, you see Orpheus still trying to control it. And a huge zap as you are, all of you, you see him, and then he blinks, and he says, "Where did everybody go?" And you look around, and all of you are invisible.
All of us.
All of you are invisible.
No
What
way.
about the little ones?
The metamorphs are not invisible.
Okay.
And you will be invisible until you attack or cast a spell.
Oh, please be my turn. Please be my turn soon.
It's Annual's turn.
Ah!
I don't know how I want to do this. Geez. So if I'm invisible and I move away from the two metamorphs, will they get opportunity attacks?
They will, but it'll be disadvantaged.
Okay. I'm gonna move. And where is Orpheus?
He's
Okay.
that little
Sorry.
token right there.
He's there. So let me just readjust here.
Perfecto.
You freaking can't do this. Okay, there.
Okay, I'm gonna move away from the two metamorphs towards the center of the room, and
All the way. You have 7,
yeah, I have 7.
so you have 1 more, or you can adjust how
They
you
both fail their opportunity attacks.
Sweet. And
And it'll be if you attack him, it'll be advantage because your first attack. You'll be an unseen attacker.
okay, I guess I'll attack him.
It's up to you.
So you said advantaged on the first attack, right?
Yes.
Only the first. Okay. That's a 26.
That'll hit. There you are! Ah! As the arrow sinks into his chest.
Second attack missed. $19 damage.
19 damage, okay. Second one?
That's it. I missed the second one.
Okay. The other one flies. Okay, there you are. And he throws a chaos bolt at you. And that is gonna fucking miss. Okay. And with that, it is Sylvie's turn.
So Shelby is invisible.
Yep.
So she's gonna use her movement to go 5 right here. So take an opportunity attack, I guess.
It'll just be a disadvantage, and it's gonna fail her.
And she is going to cast. I'm just gonna do 2 cantrips, 2 Eldritch Blasts at Orpheus.
Okay.
No. Rolled 1 or 2.
Was it advantaged?
No.
It should be advantage because you're unseen.
Oh.
So what first one would fail? And then the second one is not advantage.
Oh
no, it would be because it's at the same time. Right?
Yeah, because they both go out at the same
Yeah.
time. So it's 9 plus 11, so 20.
20 barely hits as you blast him, and okay, keeps making his con save.
13 points of damage.
13 points of damage blast into him. Okay. As he's gonna one for you too, Tiny. As he's going to attack, and that is going to hit. That is going to deal 13 points of cold damage as it turns into a blast of ice as it hits you. And with that, it is
The cold doesn't bother me anyway.
Avantris, finally.
I am going to use my bonus action to dash all the way to Orpheus. I believe it's just enough.
You can go one more.
Oh, you're speedy.
It's 6 times. It's one more.
he doesn't see
You
you.
go there or there.
Eat a little burger.
It's up to you.
No, I want to be right next to him.
Okay, got it.
He doesn't see you, so he has no idea.
And then I'd like to stab him in the face.
I'm glad I'm all the way over here.
You're advantaged.
Oh, I'm well aware. This is it. This is going to be the 20. No, I got a 19 plus 2, which is 21 plus 9 is 30.
Hits.
Points of damage.
28 points of damage. And when I roll con, what's the DC of that on con? I passed that. 28 points of damage
14.
as you blink as soon as your rapier thrusts. He feels the sharp pain, and then you appear right in front of him. And you say, "Nothing personnel, kid." Not actually. And, this
Did
is
you turn into a katana?
this is working against me. Okay. And with that, he's going to say, "Well, here's one for you," and he's going to blast you with Chaos Bolt, and that is going to hit. And that is going to be dealing a hot, 17, no, not 17. What am I saying?
Is that disadvantage because he's in melee?
14, no, it's either or. That's 14 points of what damage? Fire damage. 14 points of fire damage on you. Okay. His body is writhing around as he looks at all of you, and you say, "Well, I guess I'll use another one of these." He grabs another orange bead and gets it in the middle of all of you over there.
Is this a spell that he's using?
Yes.
I'm gonna use my wand to counterspell it.
Okay.
You're what?
My rod of the Pact Keeper.
What's the range?
We use a bonus action to get this to the spell slot back.
Oh yeah.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a channel to get it back.
So have you used it yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Okay. So
I didn't know that. I thought
goes
I
in,
was
or look it up, and I believe it is, and explodes into a fireball. I need all 4 of you to make a dex saving throw. Gaines at advantage.
Wow.
Got a 15.
15. Okay.
21.
Both Ganji and I missed.
Okay. So Rodek, you're the only one that passes. So everyone else is going to take full. This is why I get a lot of dice, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. 6, 8, 13, 17, 22 points of fire damage.
I take half, right?
Yes, you take half. As Rodok, you manage to dodge out of the way, but the rest of you, the blaze of the Inferno blasts as you're all singed, and Orpheus is going to look at Van and say, and then he's going to channel 2 more sorcerer points to make that a quickened spell, really very quick, and he is going to shoot at Vandus here, going to miss. One is going to hit, and the other one fucking misses. Okay, so Vandus, he manages to hit you with one of his Chaos Bolts. That does a hot 8 points of what is this? Of lightning damage. It zaps you. Can't hear you, Vandus, if you're talking. Okay.
I double muted myself. I'm barely clinging to life.
Okay. With that, it is Lumi's turn.
Lumi is gonna stay where she's at.
Okay. Verdict.
How is he looking?
Orpheus?
Yeah.
He's looking fairly rough, but not super weak.
And I'm invisible until when?
Until you attack or cast a spell.
Yep.
How many potions do I have left? Healing potions.
I mean, how many did you have? I wasn't tracking yours, remember? So I marked down that you.
I think I have like 2 left.
So you have 2 left.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to feed Sylvia health potion.
Okay.
As my action. Just remember that you're prone.
Okay, so that'll just be 20.
Or would I have seen you go down? Were you invisible?
No, I wasn't invisible. I cast Eldritch Blast on
Okay.
on him. So.
Got it. So that's 1, 2, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Are you dashing? Oh, you're flying.
I'm flying. 55.
So you pour a potion down Sylvie's throat. You sputter her consciousness as Rodok's Lumi, where you fly. Well, you see nothing as an invisible dwarf flies over towards Orpheus.
But I smell it, so I know.
Oh, hold on, Rodok. Before you do that, I need to roll on my shit. I need to remember to do this.
This is really bad.
So, as you fly towards him, both you and I guess the whole room hears a faint ethereal music playing, as almost as if it's a symphony playing all around Orpheus. Now I get my beautiful orchestra, while all of you hear your swan song. Okay.
And I am going to hovering. I want to hover like still invisible.
Okay.
I want to be like 10 feet above the ground.
Got it.
And that's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Flying. And with that, we are going to gravity falls down, and it is the fire floor. As I need to actually go for this. This is a more complex one. So boink. Whoops. This is here. Yeah. You are boink. You are boinked. And then. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
No way.
Unbelievable.
Motherfucker.
Better to be lucky than good.
So, all of you fall down. Rodok, you're still flying. And Lumi's flying. As both Ganji and Sylvie, these raging firewalls are directly next to you. Okay, Rodok, though, you're going to take some fire damage. 1 point of fire damage.
I'm still invisible, right?
Yep. So, after that, Or no, no. Actually, no, you don't. Sorry, you don't. Genji does.
Oh.
Genji takes 1 point of fire damage. Apologies.
This is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, Genji.
Genji is going to use his bonus action to take a potion.
Okay. He downs you quick trap. He's still invisible. Rodek's still invisible.
Okay, who's next? Anulin?
That's which is his
that's a
bonus
bonus
action.
action.
Oh, sorry. You heal 14.
I healed 13.
Oh, 13.
And then he is going to cast...
No, it should have been 14. You rolled 2 4s and 2 1s.
No.
Oh, 3,
I
sorry.
rolled 2 1s and a 3. He is going to cast... Cure Wounds on himself at first level.
Okay. He
How's
taps
Genji
himself.
looking?
Real bad.
And
Real bad.
what was that?
The
Cures. He taps it, and the power of Bahamut heals him as it seals up his wounds a little bit. Okay. Anulin, you're up. You take 1 point of fire damage.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to fire 2 arrows at Orpheus.
Okay.
That was god awful. One was a 91, and the other was 5. So,
Genji is going to use his bonus action with Channel Divinity to give Anulin an additional plus 10.
So 5 and makes it a 15.
Yeah, well then whatever her bonus is to that. She rolled a 5 plus 10, so her roll would be a 15 plus her bonus.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the arrow flies. It looks like it's going to hit, and then all of a sudden you see it almost magically correct, as it's guided by a divine hand. It sinks into Orpheus's chest. Why don't you roll a
Damage?
23 damage.
23 damage. Okay. Let me just write. As the arrow flies and he is going to roll concentration, and you finally see his quick moving agility as he breaks concentration and he slows down as he spits up this sickening, colorful looking blood. You got me good, and he's going to actually no. He is going to start shaking his flesh and make all attacks against him disadvantage.
I'm going to use my movement to run towards Avantris and use my bonus action to feed him a potion.
Okay, while he's alive. Are you down? Okay.
No, he just looks like shit.
Okay, so you just like, and Anulin just pours it in.
Oh, you're gonna move it to you're going up here?
Yeah, just right in front of Orpheus.
Okay. Also, because that's fine. That's fine. You poured it.
Take it as in I get it in my possession, or I'm allowed to consume it on her.
I am like dog feeding it to
Wait,
you.
well that would be an action.
Oh, that would be an
That's
action.
an
That would be
action
an
to
action.
feed it.
Oh. Never mind then.
Okay, so you're gonna stay back.
Back up.
Okay.
Back up.
So his shift is okay. Sylvia, you're up.
Avantris, how are you feeling?
Tell
me the truth. I only want your arm if it's worth it.
I don't know what that means, so I'm going to move forward, I'm going to touch Genji, and with my ring, I'm going to use 4th level Cure Wounds.
Okay. You channel the power of the ring of spell storing. It goes into Genji, healing him for a lot of health. Anything else?
And then as my bonus action, I am going to drink a potion.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to do.
Vannis, you're up.
Is the shifting thing, is that a concentration thing?
It's until the beginning of his next turn.
Okay, got it.
With my bonus action, I'm going to use the last potion that I have.
Okay.
That's I already rolled it, so
Okay.
assuming that I would make it to my turn. So I healed for 14.
You down the potion. You realize that you've chugged a shit ton of potions.
Actually, I think I'm rolling for the
And
wrong one.
then, so what I'm gonna,
It's healing touch. It's 8.
Oh, I was rolling the wrong ones.
I'm going to channel Venom Spine
Terrible.
to use the active as my action.
Okay. Use your bonus action to coat the long rapier blade with a thick venom, and you're going.
It's a full action.
Are you sure?
Always has
Yes,
been.
it's a full
Okay.
action.
Okay. You coat the blade, and you're ready to go. Oh, you're still. No, you're not invisible anymore.
No, I'm not invisible, and I'm not advantaged. I'm disadvantaged, so there's really no point in me attacking.
Okay.
So my goal was to draw
Okay.
the venom and pass my turn.
Okay, you pass your turn. So he's saying, oh, it is his turn. He doesn't see you, Rodek. And so he is pretty out of shit.
As are we all. Welcome to the club.
As he's looking around, and he says, "Why aren't you falling into any of these hazards?" As he is just going to ju, and he's going to just send, or only 2 because he lost haste. Yeah, he lost haste, so he's just going to shoot 2 of these guys. Yeah. And that is going to be it's going to hit Annulin, and then 1. He's going to say, "Okay, now I finally finish you off," and he's going to. It blows up in his face as I roll another natural 1 on Avantris, but it is going to hit Annulin.
Is that his turn, by the way?
It is his turn.
Okay, so he takes 2d4 damage.
Oh.
I'm untouchable.
Oh, Sylvie, you take 3 points of fire damage. Vandus, you take 5 points of fire damage. Because the floor is hot. Sorry about that.
He takes 2d4 damage,
2d4 damage. Oh.
and then a con saving throw.
So it's going to be 4 points of damage. Con saving throw. That is going to be a 14.
That fails. He still
Okay.
has the wounds.
So he fails. The wounds are oh God, I hate this. And with that, it is
So is he disadvantaged at the beginning of his turn? Is he?
his skin reverts to normal. It's no longer advantage. So Annulin, that is going to do 15 points of cold damage as it blasts you, and he misses the one on Vandus. And that is going to be his turn.
Okay, Lumi.
Lumi.
Lumi is going to use her movement speed to enter action to get to Avantris.
Okay. She
So she's
flies.
going to go 120 feet.
She's going to sprint her
Thanks
little
for
wings.
hosting, Forge.
Oh, thank you
for the
guys. Thank you so
host.
much.
Thank
Forge.
you.
What's
Is
her
it-
speed?
Her speed is 60, so she's going to go 120 to
Okay.
get to him.
No, she
Hey,
can
Forge,
get there with 60.
Oh, well
Yeah.
then cool. She'll get there.
She's going to
She's
fly
in
over to Vandus and ready.
Yeah, she's just going to be there.
She's there.
She's going to assist him.
Okay.
Isn't that something familiars can do, right?
Hey!
Yeah.
She can make.
So she's going to
Yeah.
go in and assist him.
Yeah.
And so she is
What's
going
the
to
comic that go?
get
I don't
ready.
know what
Oh my
that
God.
does, but
Thanks for the follow, Forge Breaker.
thank you
Thanks.
so much.
You're the best. And okay, with that is Rodek's turn.
All right. So I fly in, and right before I attack, I say, "This ends now." I want to come in, and I want to. Oh, thanks for the sub.
Oh, thank you
thank
for
you
the
behind
sub.
An invisible flying dwarf suddenly appears as his sword swings in over Orpheus.
Or help is that.
So I'm advantaged, right?
Yes, because you're unseen.
Yes. So I will make a regular attack.
And
That's
he no longer has the disadvantage on, correct?
right.
Correct.
So that is a 25.
You take 1 point of fire damage. 25 does hit.
Make a strength saving throw.
Okay. That is going to be a hot.
Thank you so much.
What is it against?
Forge, have a great night.
My spell DC of I think 17 now actually, or 16 or
I
17.
fail.
You fail? Both? If it was a 16, would you fail?
I would fail both.
Okay. So he is now tripped.
Ah!
So I will roll damage for that. So okay, bear with me, everybody.
If you kill him, I'm gonna be so mad.
So the first attack
I don't think he's even close to. I don't think he's like even halfway to dead.
I agree. I think Orpheus has a ton of health.
7,
And tricks
8,
up
9,
his
10,
sleeve.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21
Okay.
damage. And I want to use my bonus action to, feeling desperate, and basically look into my soul, and my sword ignites into the flames of Acheron or whatever the hell it is, and I'm going to rend his armor open. And until to the end of my next turn, all attacks crit on 17, 18, and 19. Or no.
Wait, is that your demon ability?
Yes.
Yes!
18, 19, and
So-
20. What's it called? It has a really cool name.
The Sundering Strike of Avernus.
That's right.
So, an invisible flying dwarf appears as soon as his enormous greatsword, the sword of his former minion, King Krem, appears and slices, and as Rhoda, he's swinging with such force, it trips him, and as you, Rhoda, as you're swinging your sword, you channel in that promised power, and you hear in the back of your head, Avantris sends its aid. As your blade ignites, as it slices through him, leaving an enormous, gaping, flaming wound, almost as if it's cursed by devilish magic. What was that? And he falls down.
I would like to make my second attack.
Okay.
A power attack, by the way. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm going to use a precision die.
Okay.
I reroll. Oh no, that's the wrong die. Excuse me. Sorry. 8. So it hits.
Okay. His armor, you see his flesh and armor he was wearing is all a combination of the slod-like flesh, but it is completely smoldering and leaving tons of weakness.
26 damage.
Total? Or just...
For the next attack.
Okay, what was it before? What was the first one?
Did you take the damage in the first one?
No, I didn't.
What was it?
I have no
Anybody
idea.
remember? It was...
No.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 damage.
21, so 20, so that would be 49 total.
Current, right?
Yeah, so 2 strikes.
Okay, and then I will use my action surge
Jesus Christ.
and attack 2 more times.
Good God!
So I'm going to make another power attack.
Alright, at this point I can't even be mad if you end up killing him, because you've done like 80 damage in one go.
I'm just gonna wait for this. And I'm
18.
18 total. It
hit.
barely hits as he tries to roll out of the way. And you
I'm going
bring
to
your
make
sword
it
down.
a menacing attack
Okay. What does that do?
with saving throw.
Vertex blown is
That's
blown
gonna
over
pass.
here.
It's gonna pass.
Roll this. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 32 damage
32 damage on that strike.
on that
Yeah.
strike.
Okay.
He rolled max on those d6s.
And then I will make one more attack, a power attack.
Fighters, ladies and gentlemen.
17. I will use my last one to make it a precision attack.
Okay. What does menacing do, by the way? Just add more damage.
If you pass, so if you
Oh, I
fail,
passed, yeah, okay.
he would be
I
afraid.
forgot.
But I'm gonna make it a precision attack, which one was all I needed. So I had 18 total.
18 total.
No. So 18 total to hit. That
Yeah,
hits,
that
right?
hits, yeah. Barely hits.
Okay. Max damage again. 12, 13,
I shit
14,
you
15,
not.
16, 17, 18, 28 damage.
I'm gonna pull out my calculator.
Okay, buddy, settle down.
Yeah, hold on. I apologize, guys. I'm not a math magician here.
Oh, but because of your sword, doesn't that 17 crit?
No, I have to roll a 17 on the
Oh,
die.
okay.
natural.
Okay.
So no, I was. Well, no, we have to be in 18, 19, 20. I think it's 18.
In one round,
Gotcha.
the flying dwarf with the flaming demon sword does 109 points of damage.
That's an
That's gotta be a record.
As Orpheus is slammed down and Rhoda is just hacking into him. You see that Orpheus is spitting up blood as I don't even know what to say about this.
As the dwarf blows his load all over the sorcerer.
I was hoping for one crit.
Seriously.
I rolled so many dice, no crit. But everybody else can have a chance to crit.
And he is going to look at you, and he's going to try to do something against you.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean everybody gets a chance?
So he basically has like Sunder armor on. So all attacks, if anybody rolls a natural 18, 19, or 20, or is it 17, 18, 19, 20?
17, 18, 19, and 20.
Huh?
And so, as soon as you do that, you
Until
see
Richie's next, the end of Richie's next
you
turn.
see that the chaos energy. He's so weak and so wounded. And we're going to roll on the wild magic surge.
Do you know what my card is?
If you can get me my
No.
bag with my DM stuff.
Yeah.
Orpheus looks at, and as if that wasn't bad enough, you see his, despite it being tainted by the magics of limbo, his glowing, almost permanently glowing hair falls entirely off of his head. As now Orpheus's hair is now fallen to the ground, he's on the ground, tripped, as his hair is above his No! As he's grabbing his hair and he's trying to put it back on.
Oh my
And
god, this is almost sad.
he looks completely devastated as the wild magic surge caused him to lose his hair. And he's a bald Orpheus. Still has you see the red markings on his face also go up on the back of his head. And
You wanted this.
and he is now not mechanically afraid of Rodak, but Jesus Christ. And although he is now going to just use a layer action that. You know what? I think he's just gonna burst at you. Oh no, he would absolutely not. He would have been okay, and he channels his chaos magic to shift to try to draw disadvantage on all the attacks in order to protect himself. As he's looking, as Rodak would destroyed him. So all attacks until his next turn are disadvantaged. Okay.
So they're regular attacks. Because they're already at advantage.
What? Well, no. So he's prone.
He's prone.
So he's advantage to us. So he would be.
Okay.
So Vanish would have a regular
So
attack.
Except he has
gravity
aid
lifts
by-
you up, swirls you around, drops you on,
Regular attack is fine as long as I get my sneak attack.
Right.
drops you on the chaos floor as the portal rages. Annulin again falls directly into. I need you to make a con saving throw, Annulin.
Not bad. I got a 22.
22. So once again, you are going to leap next to Sylvie, and as you roll out of the way, as you fall down, Orpheus, and then you all fall basically in the same spot. You're basically thrown down, almost like you're placed by the forces of limbo. And some magic does manage to zap you, though. This is going to be fire damage, and that's going to be 9 points. That was 18. You take 9 points of fire damage as it leaps out of the portal as you manage to dodge out of the way.
I, in dodging, trip over my own ankles and fall unconscious on the floor.
Although you're able to dodge,
Holy shit.
you are feeling
That's
very
great.
lucky as you lose consciousness that you do not fall unconscious into this portal as Annulin falls to the ground, narrowly avoiding almost certain death as she falls to the ground unconscious. Okay, with that,
Wow, that's really
it
lucky.
is the Metamorphs. These
I
are...
love in D&D Beyond, by the way, the little face it makes when you have to make death saving
Yeah,
throws.
it's so good, right?
It's
I've
great.
never seen it.
I'll show you.
It's
after.
really cute.
So-
I'll bring it over and show you. It's pretty goofy.
So the two Metamorphs by the side of the wall see Orpheus getting completely obliterated by Rhoda, and they start... Actually, they're going to dash all the way to you, Rhoda. You can use your action to dash. Sylvie and Ganji are both being attacked by a Metamorph. Ganji, it's going to hit. Sylvie, that's also going to hit. Whoops. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. It's getting wild, ladies and gentlemen. 5. That's going to be 7 points of damage on Ganji. And on Sylvie, that is going to be a hot 6 points of damage.
Okay.
As they bite, they're all piercing, by the way. Piercing. As the Metamorphs go, and I think... And then Rodek, they can't get to Rodek. Okay, with that, it is Gabe's turn.
Which ones started their turn and... Does he still have concentration?
He does not.
He does not. He lost, and the angelic form has disappeared. Okay. Okay, Ganji, it's your turn.
Sorry, I have to just look through his stuff for just 1 second.
Is Ganji after Orpheus?
Yes. Yeah, so it's Rodek. It's Orpheus, Lumi, Rodek, minions, monsters, Ganji, and then it goes back to the top of the turn.
Got it.
He is going to risk taking the hit to move up here, and he is going to place his hand down on Annulin, and he's going to cast Cure Wounds.
Okay, you channel the power of Bahamut.
You've been rolling minimum literally all night.
This is just like
your dice. All of your dice suck. They're terrible.
Literally the worst thing ever. Oh, I get 2 of those at least.
It'll be another one. Like why even bother? Is it another one?
Oh no, it's only one. It's because I cast it at first.
But did
level.
You roll a 1?
Not second level. I rolled a 1, so she gets healed for 5 points.
Okay. You heal Annulin, the conscience returns to you as that happens, and Orpheus is going to just once use the last of his...
Oh, and as a bonus action, he's going to take his very last potion.
As a bonus action...
So I just returned to 0? Is that how that works?
No, you return to 5.
5. He's going to shoot a blast up at you, Rodek. And that is going to miss. He is on the ground weak here. And with that, it is Annulin's turn.
Okay. Oh, I'm unconscious and have 5 points?
You
are awake with 5 points, but you're prone on the ground.
I'm prone. Okay, so I will use my movement to stand up. And I'll just move a couple spaces, like, towards... I don't care either way, just kind of away from the portal-y thingy.
Like, back? Or probably
yeah,
like
the way you're heading.
What, like, this way? Just so you're away from those guys, too?
Yeah, sure. And then I'll fire 2 arrows at Orpheus.
Okay. Disadvantaged.
First one misses.
Okay.
But if we're all advantaged on his attacks, doesn't that make it just a regular attack?
He's prone, so it's disadvantage anyway on range.
Oh, okay.
We're not all advantaged.
So 20 is the second one.
I thought you said we were because of your weapon.
No, that's a crit.
What was that?
20 to hit on the second one.
20 to hit. Yep, that hits.
Oh, well, what was the first one?
I think I rolled a 3 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, roll damage.
That's 20 damage.
20 damage. As it blasts into him, and he... Oh, no, he can't. And he is unable to use any legendary actions. As
And I'm going to use my bonus action to drink a greater healing.
Okay, you chug that health pot. And with that, it is Sylvie's turn.
I'm going to use my bonus action to channel the power into my rod.
Okay.
Hold on, I didn't actually look that up. I meant to. It's an action to do that. So I'm going to use my action to get
You hold up Wayward Sword, Matthias's cane, say true, and you hear a as you feel a spell slot return to you.
And as a bonus action, I am going to... so I'm going to move... Okay, yeah, I'm going to... Where is it? Why aren't you opening? Okay, I'm just gonna use... No, I'm not. That's all I'm gonna do. Because I am out of bard spells, and I used my action. And I will use my bonus action to drink my lash potion. So, both Ganji and I are out of potions.
Okay. You down your health potion, bringing life back to yourself, and you have one more spell slot here. Vandris, it's you.
Okay.
Your advantage.
So,
You're at advantage.
wait, no more disadvantage.
What was that?
I thought it canceled out.
It does, so it's regular.
But Looney's
But
assisting
Looney
you.
is giving you
Oh,
aid,
So
so
prone
you
should
get
cancel
advantage.
and assist should give advantage, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is I need a natural 17 or higher out of these 2 dice.
Yes,
Did you check your bag?
I did. It's not in there.
Okay.
I have no idea where we put them.
For what?
What's the power called for you?
For what?
For my power. I want to make
The
sure.
Sundering Strike of Avernus.
Okay.
I got a natural 20!
Yeah!
Oh my god! Rolled a 20 and a 17.
Holy shit! They both would have done it, I think. It's a crit.
So, double dice, right?
Double all the dice.
Thank you, Looney. Please kill him. That would be just you couldn't write that shit. I'm like in suspense because I can't hear him rolling his dice.
That's actually pretty accurate for something.
15 damage.
Holy shit.
And did that include Venom's Spine?
No! it didn't.
Double that!
Shit.
Double that!
Well, no. I need to roll a con saving throw.
Oh.
I still have to do the damage too. Hold on. It's, oh yes, make a DC saving throw of, the DC is 15.
15, yep. Okay.
Like, you failed it or you passed?
I fail, but he uses last legendary resistance.
I thought he used all of them, right? Or no?
No, that was his third.
So does that mean I don't get to roll the dice?
No. He resists.
That would have been another 4d10.
No.
He resists, so he is on his stomach, the gaping wound of the Sundering Strike of Avernus. You step up with Venom's Spine, and it is not difficult at all. He's trying to fight you off, and Lumi is,
Like darting in front of him.
he's darting in front of him,
spitting pixie dust
he's
in
trying
his
to
face.
swat. He spits up blood all over you. He feels the poison start entering, channels the last of his legendary reactions. He clutches the hilt of the sword of Venom's Spine as his chaotic flesh gyrates wildly. Multicolored blood pours from the wounds you've inflicted upon him. His eyes dart around to each of you, but then landing squarely back on you, Vandris, the man that stabbed him in the gut.
I got it, Rich.
Wild, tired, frustrated, and twinged with something you've never seen in Orpheus before. Fear. He looks weakly up at the portal to Limbo before bringing his gaze back down to you, Avantris. I'll admit it. You're stronger than you look. And don't worry, I'm perfectly capable of containing this. Oh God, it looks like liquid cotton candy. He throws some of his own blood on you, Vandris. Anyway, I don't need to kill you to achieve my dream. I've already won. I just need to activate Plan C. And so, I must bid you adieu. And his hand starts crackling.
Counterspell.
Roll against a 7th level spell.
Oh my god!
I don't know what dice to use because you're all terrible.
No.
No.
As you try to cast counterspell,
that would have been a 19 if I had just not used my fucking cursed scarab dice.
Orpheus raises his hand. Orange energy crackles between his claws. Sylvie, you reach out to counterspell. But before you can cast counterspell, you hear a loud crack. There's nothing to counterspell. He looks at his hand That's new. Ah! And immediately, in a flash of light, energy erupts from Orpheus's body. He's pulled off of your rapier. His mouth is alight with the chaotic multicolor magic of Limbo. He looks as if he's screaming, but quickly it is drowned out by the cacophonous roaring of rushing energy. You notice his body rise into the air and get drawn up towards the portal of Limbo. You can tell that the portal is shrinking dramatically. Orpheus' form, glowing more wildly by the second, gyrates, shifts, contorts as he himself is lifted into the air. You faintly notice, amidst the glow of his body returning to its former mortal tiefling form. Several moments later, the last wisp of chaos magic rips out of Orpheus. Sorry. And, wait, hold on. Whips out of Orpheus and slips into the tiny final cut in the fabric of space-time before the portal blinks into nothingness. The elemental chaos of the room stills, and Orpheus, suspended, falls to the ground, crumpling the moment he makes impact. He slowly props himself up. On his arm, his eyes look at you, no longer blazing. They move from Ganji to Rodek, to Annulin, to Sylvie, and finally back to you, Avantris. His eyelids drooping as if he hasn't slept for a week. He raises his hands towards Avantris and snaps. Nothing happens. What? He snaps again, and again, and again. Nothing happens. No! His eyes widen even further as some form of realization hits him. He looks at the ceiling, the gaping hole clearly visible, with the portal dismissed. How? No longer able to support his weight on his arm, he collapses onto his side, his gaze vacant and defeated. You actually stopped me. I should have stuck with the original plan A. I guess the silver lining is that at least the Slotty will be able to spread across Avantris. Those poor Krog folk. And he kind of crumples forth weakly onto his arm and spits up multicolored blood, returning back to thick red globules of blood on the ground.
Is he standing there?
He is on the ground, propped up on his arm, barely.
Alright, we should apprehend him.
No, we should kill him and do it now.
I mean, he needs to die, but we need to ask him questions first.
Right. No one kills him.
He doesn't have any power left.
You don't know how long that's gonna last. I don't have any power left. That doesn't mean he won't have some
I
later.
immediately run on him and I jump on him.
Okay. I need you to make an athletics check, athletics contest at advantage for you.
I'm
16.
gonna fire. I want to fire 2 Eldritch Blasts at him.
Okay.
Non-lethal.
You can't.
You can't.
Why can't I?
Because
it's
it's
not-
melee.
It's
attack.
force.
It automatically hits. You can't resist it. So it's
Oh.
basically.
You know that.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
So
I didn't know. I didn't know that. I've been playing for
Yeah, but
2.5
still you
years
would
and
know
I
that.
didn't know that.
So, Rodek, you leap onto him and grab him. It's effortless. His body completely crumples and you pin him down.
I'll run over and I'll put my foot, like, on his neck. Not, like, crushing his air pipe, but preventing him from going anywhere.
Yeah, so you get Rodek is his arm smashed down, and Vandus, your boot is on the side of his neck, and he's spitting up more blood.
Okay, I have an idea. Keep him there for an hour. Don't let him talk. Don't let him do anything. Both of you stay there for an hour. Do you understand me?
An hour? We don't have that kind of time.
I don't give a shit. If we're not killing him now, we have an hour. Do you hear
No,
me?
let's bind him. Let's.
I can charm him and force him to tell us and convince him to tell us everything. I don't have anything right now.
Then we kill him. We don't wait an hour.
No, we can't. We can't just let... We don't know how to stop these things.
Alright, I look at Orpheus, venom spine pointed at his throat, and say, I best you start talking, because you know you don't have any time.
No, I know, please don't kill me. He looks at you, more like this. Please, don't kill me. Mercy, that's what you heroes are all about, right?
I suggest you start talking, and we'll see what we can...
I'm chaotic good!
Do you think I had any plan once I got the slotty out? What am I supposed to do? Look! And he's like, I guess Rhoda has him. He's trying to...
What does that mean? Is
It
it
means
power
I can
gone?
snap his fingers. That's all it means. He's trying to trick us. Don't be fooled.
Well, I'm not a half-toad man anymore, am I?
Can I insight check him?
Yeah.
Does he still have a big nasty eyeball on his forehead?
That is going to.
Is he still
Is his hair
completely
back?
hairless?
Yep. Completely
Damn.
bald. Completely bald.
20.
20.
Insight.
He seems to be genuine.
What did you expect to happen once the Slotty were running rampant?
That they would reproduce. What do you think?
What was your end game here? What is all of this?
What you just destroyed. Chaos. Anything beyond that, who cares?
But why? Because you didn't like your father? Is that why?
Because law and the rules and everything else crushes on the throat of the spirit of the individual.
Well,
just like you're crushing mine.
Apparently, chaos also crushes on the throat, because look at you, you bald, hairless, crazy, whatever, just kill him!
Yeah,
And
I
like
agree.
Sylvie's
No,
like
no,
stomping her
no.
feet.
Wait, I can help you. I can help you.
I don't want your help.
Stop
and she
it,
spits
let him
across
talk.
the room.
You're heroes, right? You don't kill someone. Annulin. Yes, I know your name, Elfie. I can help you. Mother, fire giants, right?
What do you know about my mother?
Don't listen to him.
Oh, I heard that beautiful story.
Do I trust him?
It made me cry. Oh, hold on a second.
Okay.
It made me cry.
What was my mother's name?
You never said her name in the story. You talked to my statue. You didn't think I was listening.
I don't think you can help me.
Oh, but I do. I know a secret tunnel right into the heart of Svarog that could take you right there. I could lead you to it. I could help save your mother.
Why would I trust you after all of this?
What other choice do I have, and what choice do you have besides kill me? Sure. You, at this moment, you get a walkie-talkie message, all of you. Oh, gosh, I don't know what you're doing down there, but there's a bunch of horrible frog monsters coming out and they're killing everybody. What do you do?
Can I grab my walkie-talkie?
Yeah.
I say, Ratley, you have to hang tight. It's going to be a massive onslaught. We're dealing with Orpheus. Try to save your men, rally your troops, and fight for your lives.
Hold on. So, my insight check.
Yeah.
How do I feel about what you just said?
What do you get?
20.
You look upon a broken man. You look upon someone whose plan B was the main plan, and he seems genuine about not having power back. He does. You remember in the journal that he wrote about a secret tunnel in Svarog, and that he seems to at least have been making notes and been planning something. So you have evidence. He seems believable, but you have evidence, at least given his previous notes in the book.
Annulin, you remember that book, right? He mentioned Svarog. He mentioned the tunnel before he knew what happened to your mother.
Yeah, but I mean, still, after all of this, what's to say he won't just regain his strength and disappear like he has 100 times before?
I also need that head.
No. I believe if we take him back whole, it works just the same, doesn't it?
It's true, but he's pretty dangerous.
Right? But we know how magic works to a degree. We keep him gagged, we keep him bound, we keep him in clothes, nothing more.
I'm not opposed to cutting his hands off.
Let's remember that we're all good people. We've stopped him. I don't want to murder him, and it wouldn't be cold blood, but if we could get answers, and he could see justice in Anzu. Why wouldn't we want that? Ganji, if you were here, you would agree with me.
It's true.
Actually,
Genji
Rodek, I
would
do
agree with you.
believe, I do agree with you, yes. Because I am here. I'm standing over here next to you.
He has untold knowledge about the planes. He was working with Deandra. We have no idea what she was up to. He could tell us so much.
Well, then we best
It is-
start tying him up.
It is a difficult choice. One life or potentially the lives of many.
It's your lucky day.
He looks at you, and his eyelids are fluttering. I can see that. I always knew you were do-gooders. And he falls unconscious.
Tie him up.
I tie him up. I want to gag him with some filthy, disgusting cloth.
Okay?
Stick him in his mouth.
Sylvie's gonna pee all over him.
Okay.
Like, now, for real.
Okay, you take a squat and you...
I'm gonna get on my broom and just, like, pee from my
Okay, you
broom all over him.
projectile piss all
And there's,
over.
like, decrepit Garalin head rotten blood coming off the tip of it and splashing all over
Got
him.
it.
What's in with what?
I want to completely bind his hands, like so they literally cannot move.
You need to make a dex check. And who would be furthest to the corner of the room there?
To this
Which
corner?
corner?
Me.
Sylvia, I need you to make a perception check.
No, I perceive nothing.
I got a 8 on my dex check.
8. You time as best you can.
Okay.
And, I need Ganji to
Can I-
make... What?
I wanted to go to the corner where the genie was and like check her out.
She's
Annulum.
up on the ceiling, isn't
Oh, you all fell back and it's fine.
she?
You're back on
All
the
that happened, I assume that the room
Basically,
switched back.
when Orpheus lost his power, it all shifted it around and basically righted everybody.
Okay.
Retcon, it's fine. It happened. And so you walk over Annulin, and you see the form of a female red skin. She seems to be very scantily clad, but is wearing some kind of clothes. Heavy manacles, gleaming with a magic still. Or the remnants of magic. And as soon as you approach within about 5 feet, her eyes open. Blazing golden eyes, she stares directly at you. Free me. Free me.
Guys, she's alive.
I'm
I don't know what
gonna
that
run
is.
over there with
Be careful.
Annulin.
I'm gonna pick Orpheus' body up and just he's
And
gonna just be slung over my
Ganji's
shoulder.
gonna come too.
You look and you see the large red woman bound in her prison with the shimmering cuffs. They're not like radiating with magic. I realize that's a bad description. But they shouldn't shimmer as if they were magical artifacts. Although she's restrained and her body seems incredibly weak, her eyes are still brilliant and filled with determination. You have defeated the one that has bound me. Free me, and I will grant you one wish.
Are those locks that I can pick?
I can send the beasts back to the chaos from whence they came.
I want to roll an insight check on her.
Make an insight check.
And do we have would we have any knowledge of like of her beings and like just general knowledge about them?
17.
17. She seems genuine, like a caged animal. She seems like you've encountered wild prisoners who have been kept for a very long time. It seems like that's the case here. I will have Ganji roll an Arcana check.
24.
24. Ganji recognizes. He steps up and he says, "This is hello, Ski. How you do? Okay, okay, I got it.
I have 12 matchstick.
I have 12 matchstick. She is an Ifrita of the Ifriti of the Plane of Fire. That's what he's got. I don't know.
Again, are they usually evil? Are they good?
They're usually evil, yes. But do we have much of a choice?
Well, so, I told that story about that one gnome that I know of. Or, I don't know that gnome. Like, it was just a story that I read. But, as someone who has read about what it's like to be caged up,
And I want to look at her and make eye contact with her, and I want to say,
I don't know if what you say is true or if you are evil, but if there's any bit of goodness in your heart, I would like to help you. I would like to set you free.
Free me!
and then I'll look at Ganji and I'll just say, Ganji?
Yes.
Is it magical that we have to set her free? Or do you think that we need to get Avantris over here to pick those locks? But I think we should let her go. I know if Rodek were holding, or not Rodek, but if Orpheus were holding me captive, I'd want someone to let me go. And I'm a very powerful and sometimes malevolent, but also sometimes very quirky and adorable kind of creature that maybe some people wouldn't want to let free, but I would want them to.
We don't have a choice at this point.
I mean, we do, but I think that the choice is to free her. If we're gonna let Orpheus live, why wouldn't we free this creature?
Right.
You can't
If
free
I can
one.
pick the locks, I'll do it.
You can't free one evil and let the other one
Investigation check.
stay.
And I would like you to make an investigation check as well.
And I use my eyes of minute seeing.
You can use your eyes and minute seeing.
20.
20, got it.
25?
25. I'll say for this, you notice that there is some sort of, that these are magic, this is a magical contraption, and it seems that whatever kind of magic was there, with Orpheus' power seemingly gone, seems to be greatly diminished. I'll say that probably with your mechanical know-how of traps and locks and facets, and your knowledge of magic, you can probably assist one or the other on how to basically burst this open and free.
I'll assist Avantris.
Well,
This looks possible. If Sylvie, if you direct me, we may
Sure.
be able to get this done.
sure, to get the magic out of it, you have to go around the doobly donger, up inside the dingle hopper, around to the whittly wangle bang, and then you have to stick
Doobly-donger.
it right into the wick wag middly bam.
Oh, okay, I think
In
I got
that
it. I think I
order.
got it.
All with your left hand.
Dex check, I guess, straight dex check.
Yep, add your proficiency.
You have to do that with your left hand, and the entire time you have to be tickling the ball bearings with your right hand.
I tickled some kind of balls. I don't really know which. I'm 24. I got a 24. I got the who's it, what's it.
So being guided by Sylvie, and Sylvie kind of gives you a little bit of like dispel magic, kind of like Ganji, and Ganji's kind of helping and assisting too. And
I can have him cast a spell magic if you want me to. He's still. I
yeah,
think
sure.
He can still do that.
He just cast a spell magic.
I think he has
allow
like
me.
1 second level spell
With the
left.
assistance of Sylvie and Ganji, you hear loud, and immediately a burst of flame sends the door of this capsule flying off, clattering at the side of the room. And the Afrita, female of Afridi, steps out. She is looming tall over you. She's probably a good 9 feet tall. 9, 10 feet tall. As she looks, she's large, like the size of an ogre, tall, but not wide. And she looks at all of you with her blazing golden eyes. You can see the burnt remnants of the shackles around her wrists and around her ankles. What do you wish?
Now, nobody speak up too quick. Let's huddle up here. As much as I'd like to wish for ungodly things, I think we need to wish the Salati away.
Do we have a sense of how many we're going through? Like tons?
Dozens, hundreds probably. You get the sense from what...
I mean,
I don't think we have a choice. I'd love to be greedy here. There's a lot of great
agree.
things I could wish for right now, but I think we have to get rid of these creatures.
Well, we have to be very careful about how we word it, because with a wish, if it's anything like the Fae, any kind of loophole could be extorted. So we have to make sure that we're incredibly clear with our words.
Who's
So-
up for that task?
I'm always the most clear with my words. So I think
That doesn't sound even
I should make
remotely
the
accurate.
wish.
now, if we practice before you ask for it, then you could talk to her. I'm fine with that, but
Yeah.
don't say it unless we do a little bit of
Anyone's
roleplay.
shaking her
I
head.
kind of look over at her and I say, I'm sorry we're taking so long. You're very beautiful.
And then I look back at everybody
Thanks,
else.
Wordbreaker. Thanks for
Thank
stopping
you,
by.
Wordbreaker. Thank you for the sub
You
and
guys-
the
you guys are
host and everything.
fantastic.
You're amazing. Thank you so much.
So, I like what she said about sending all the slotty back to chaos.
Right?
So do we
So
we
I
wish
think
to
if
undo
we
what Orpheus did?
no,
or do we
because
specifically ask for
if
the slide to be gone?
you say I wish to undo what Orpheus did, then you risk everything we just did being returned back to the moment we walked back in here and having to do it all over again. You get what I'm saying? We have to be very, very specific. So we say something like, we wish for everything that Orpheus brought to... we wish for everything that Orpheus pulled from chaos to return to chaos.
To Limbo specifically.
To limbo.
Limbo.
To limbo. And to never be allowed to return again.
So basically, the things that don't belong on this plane go
Yes.
home.
I think we should keep it specific.
Yeah.
Right, of course.
That's
I
why
agree.
I'm saying we wish for everything that Orpheus brought from limbo, or pulled from limbo, or allowed.
Summoned.
Well, we don't know if it was a
Summon.
summon. So if it wasn't a summon, then maybe it's just nothing.
You don't have time, that's how it
I
is.
understand
I think
that, but
that's
this is
fine.
also a huge
Come on,
thing.
what are you guys doing? We're dying.
I think you're right, Sylvia. I think you should ask the question as you phrased it. I think you're onto something.
Okay.
And I'm-
I'll let you do it.
Beautiful Afrita,
Yes.
if
what
you
do you
will
wish?
allow me this one wish, I wish that everything that Orpheus assisted out of limbo to be returned to limbo and never allowed to leave again.
She looks at you with the eyes of...
Hold on, but quickly before she says that, I go,
I chose assisted because I think that's pretty much means
It's
anything he
vague
helped.
enough.
I think that might do it.
Thanks, Derek.
thanks, Eric.
She looks at you with the eyes of a tamed tiger. Not immediately aggressive, but still very...
And I kind of bow at her, like similar to how you would to a hippogriff, where you keep the eye contact, but you're showing
Okay.
the respect.
Harry Potter.
Her blazing eyes lock on you and they turn to Rodek. Do you also wish for this?
Just say yes.
She turns to Ganji. Do you also wish for this?
Yes.
She turns to Anulin. Do you also wish for this?
Just to be clear, you're only offering us one wish, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
She turns finally to Avantris. Is this what you wish?
Well, Anulin asked my question, so yeah, I agree.
By the will of the Sultan of the City of Brass, it shall be done. She folds her arms and her golden eyes alight into raging fires. You hear a loud crack above you and are once again bathed in the swirling multicolor light of Limbo. You look up, and although it looks familiar to you, there's no elemental chaos pouring out. It's relatively small, no more than 10 feet in diameter. It hangs in the air where the previous portal did for moments before you hear a distant noise in the tunnel carved into the ceiling. It is low and wild and sounds like a mixture between speech and croaking. The noise is louder and louder until from the hole erupts a swarm of red and blue shapes, flailing wildly but helplessly as the Sladi careen through the air and into the small opening before disappearing completely. Dozens and dozens of Sladi are sucked violently back into limbo. Dozens become hundreds as the stream of interplanar invaders are banished from Avantris. Finally, the last of them, a red slod looking as terrified as it does mad, was ripped out of your reality before the rift winks away, and quiet returns to the room. When you look back down, the Afrita is gone. And that's where we're on the session.
Holy shit, Mike!
I can play for like 10 more hours.
Me too! Literally, like, who needs sleep? Let's keep going.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't have to go work tomorrow.
Oh. Anyone who's in chat, just give us a moment, please, because like this is 2.5 years in the making. So like, holy fucking moly,
Wow.
that fight was perfect.
That was awesome.
I was worried. I was so fucking worried. Ganji was down to 2 spells. Sylvie was completely out, and we were both sitting at like 15 health.
I want to give a special shout out to Bland Squad D&D, Derek
Yes.
Morning Frost, who worked with me closely on this encounter because
Thank you, Derek.
he is a mad genius.
He is.
And
He
he is a
He is an encounter mad genius. That is 100%
This was the
true.
single greatest, most well-designed like dungeon puzzle I've ever seen in my life.
That
Ever.
was amazing.
The whole like moving room and flipping to different things was unreal.
It was.
He had a lot of health.
I'm literally never gonna sleep again.
He had a lot of health.
That wish made me so nervous.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I'm sweating bullets.
Me too.
I'm exhausted.
I think I might have peed myself in excitement.
So yeah, that's a climax, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That was a multiple.
I was so convinced when he looked at all of us and then like pointed at me and snapped his fingers, he was gonna kill me instantly.
I thought he was too.
Like as like a final like fuck you. I
9th
thought he was
level
just gonna kill
spell.
Shadow or
I
death
thought he
or
was gonna
whatever.
disappear again.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, I guess we'll sign off.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. It was a wild
Let's
night.
find somebody
I know a 4-hour boss
No,
fight.
not after that one. Let's just end it with us enjoying it.
I know a 3-hour 3.5-hour boss fight is intense, but
Worth.
it's the climax of an arc. You gotta do it up.
Wow, he's that. Thank you,
Thank you, Lone
Guard.
Guard.
We
Thank
have
you.
a bit
Thank
of
you.
range.
We have a range. We have phenomenal role players at the table,
Thank you.
it's a good time.
I love
Dungeons and Dragons. Holy fucking moly, guys! I'm so proud of all of you.
Woo. I'm gonna get on
That
that.
was nuts. I still can't believe that we just like lucked out so much
With the
this
placement
whole
of the
trip.
room, how
With the
fucking
traps,
lucky
yeah.
were we?
Unbelievable.
We would have died.
Literally
Oh, yeah.
would have
you would
died.
have TPK'd had you not gotten that lucky.
Well,
Yes.
what if Annulin had failed the save and been unconscious?
She probably would have died.
Yeah.
I was fully prepared. Like 2 minutes into the start of this fight, I was like, oh shit, like I'm gonna have to. I was telling Andy he was getting a drink. I was like, I'm gonna have to reroll a character.
I was literally before the session. I was preparing for what I would do if Sylvie was done.
Wow.
I had 8 health when
the entire
Orpheus.
ride.
I had 8 health when Orpheus cast that fireball. If Mikey had rolled really high because Sylvie's health is so low, it
Yeah.
literally could have been Dunzo Sylvie in that one hit when I failed. But he rolled really bad.
I did.
Thank God.
I was rolling low tonight.
Yeah, you should. Do you have any idea how many ones I rolled tonight?
Yeah, I mean.
Mikey can attest, or
it's-
Richie can
yeah.
attest. It was real bad.
What were you saying, Andy, with the subway?
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's all
I didn't
good.
hear him.
I was just saying basically all day today while I was riding the subway home, I had a sense of impending doom that I was gonna die. Avantris was so screwed. I had to blow all my luck points. I used them all.
Wow.
And an inspiration.
That's, woo! Well,
Okay, well.
thanks for
Well,
stopping by.
guys,
Everybody
thank
that's
you.
still on Facebook. Check us out on Discord.
Come hang out in Discord. We'll be back with Feywild
Monday. Sunday.
and come hang out with the great _Andini. That's Andy right there.
He's in chat.
Yeah.
He's in chat.
I'll probably be streaming over the weekend a lot. So.
Yeah. So it'll be a good time, guys. So with that, I think we're just gonna sign out.
Thank you guys so much.
Love
for
you
hanging
guys.
out.
Thank you so
I'm gonna
much.
try and sleep
Thanks, guys.
tonight.
Bye.
Bye.